Hello, everyone. We're back.
Hello.
Welcome back. Whoa, holy shit. 50 gift subs. What the fuck? That was
50?
crazy.
50.
Let's go!
Oh my god. Let's go. Thank you so much. We hit our goal last week, so we were able to reveal that model, but amazing. Thank you so much, anonymous gifter. I don't know who you are, but you're fucking awesome. That's insane. What a start. What a start. Oh my god. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the gift subs. And thank you, players, for being here. You guys are incredible, and I appreciate your time and talent and coming to play some pretend with us. So how was your guys' weeks? Did you guys have fun this week? Did you guys enjoy your week?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You bet.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. We always start out, and by always I mean the last 4 times. We always start out with a question posed to our players that kind of reveals a little bit more about their character without giving the whole shebang away. So this question is, let's see, if your character was to go to any I get like national monument or like national park or UNESCO World Heritage Site, like
UNESCO
where would you go? Yeah, on planet Earth, if you were to take your character somewhere, where do you think they would? What do you think they would enjoy the most? What location? You know, like the Smoky Mountains. You'd go to any of the national parks up in the Pacific Northwest. What do you think would impress them? And we'll go down in order, and that would mean Ben, the Wall. Where would you take the Wall? There's a lot of really cool places that you could probably take the Wall.
I would take
Here
the
and abroad.
Wall to maybe the Grand Canyon. I feel like he would really enjoy that because he would want to climb the walls of the Grand Canyon.
That's clever.
Wall
I like
on wall.
Wall on wall action.
Wall action.
When in doubt,
Beautiful.
wall it out.
And it's like this happened over millions and millions of years. Yeah, this is persistence. This is tenacity personified, but not really because it's not a person.
Exactly.
All right, fantastic. Really good answer. Okay, let's see who's next. Going down this line, Grizz, Zeph. Where would you take Zeph? I know there's a lot of it's would be hard to incorporate the whole majesty of everything.
Yeah, you know, well, as I do for every question, I start with Google, as I don't know
That's a good one.
many famous landmarks. So I was thinking like probably be a famous cathedral or maybe a famous temple, and then I see here in Rio, Christ the Redeemer. It's like a giant statue of Jesus
Yo.
Christ.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome. I think it's that one.
Christ
We
the
love-
Redeemer.
That's pretty cool, right? I think that fits.
You guys ever see those videos, those like sweaty palms videos of those people going out on the hand of Christ
Oh,
the
yeah.
Redeemer, and they're just like,
Yeah.
"Ah, what do I do?"
Oh my
It's like-
god, no.
It's terrifying, man.
Sounds awesome.
Those adrenaline junkies, I wouldn't be able to do it. Terrifying. Okay, very good answer. Thank you so much. Let's see. Hayden,
Thanks for asking.
where would you take
Oh.
Argentum? Where would they go? What would they do? What would they see?
Probably my immediate thought was, if you hear screaming in the background, I'm so sorry. My husband's a lot. He's screaming. But I would. My first thought was Italy because I've been there, so I can
Okay.
be like, okay, here, here, here. Probably in Rome. Definitely take them to like the Colosseum, to
Okay.
Palatine Hill. There's just so many cool places, or like the catacombs in I think it's in Paris.
Oh yeah. No, I think my dad
Yeah.
actually just came back from. He went on a trip to Europe, and he kept sending me pictures. I was wondering what it was. I knew what it might have been, but he kept sending me pictures of this like wall of skulls, and I think it's
Yeah.
it's the catacombs in Paris. Don't get lost, guys. But that's awesome. Well, how do you think they'd react? I mean, what do you think they'd what do you think they'd do? I'm sure in fantasy world there's plenty of wonderfully impressive things too, but like
I think like they're like, to which place though? Like to the places in Italy, or in
Colosseum.
like the Colosseum. I think they would just be fascinated that it was still standing, and they would probably do something similar to what I did, which was read every single plaque on everything
oh yeah.
and just like absorbing as much as they could, taking multiple tours, probably just learning like, it's like, does anyone say it slightly differently? What's different about like the audio tour version? They would probably do the tour multiple times and just absorb as much as they possibly could.
Okay, that's fantastic. Yes, a history buff that would write down, I would imagine, much as they
Oh,
can.
yeah. Totally.
Okay, all right, Juzo as Sunder. While you answer where you would take Sunder, I'm going to close my door because I don't want to bother my roommate.
No questions asked. Disney World.
Let's go.
No questions asked. Disney World.
Well, I actually,
Can you
that's a great
imagine
answer.
that?
I'm going to grab my burrito really quick. Talk amongst yourself. I'll be right back.
Like, can you
That's-
imagine that? Just like this hard exterior tiefling wearing Mickey Mouse ears. That's
I
hilarious.
Want that for him.
out here
So- I
punching one of the mascots. That's great.
Really
Like,
thriving out here.
I
exactly.
want a group date to fucking.
All of us
Disneyland.
wearing Mickey Mouse ears.
Any
go,
artists out there, you know what
Which
to do.
which one is
Anybody
Disney
who
World?
loves this.
Disneyland's in
again?
California.
California?
Disney
Which
World
one
is in Florida.
Mhm.
Florida. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Which one's the cooler one?
You guys have
Disney
too many
World.
states. I think.
Bigger.
See,
I'd say Disney
I prefer
World.
Disneyland. That's my preference, but maybe it's because I prefer the smaller scale.
I
Mm.
say Disney World because I'm closer to Disney World.
That's fair.
I'm trying to piece together the type of character Sunder is because I remember last episode he in his vision he was accused of a
Yeah.
small child's death, and then his place he'd go is Disney
Small
World.
world.
I mean, you know what?
after all.
More targets.
Exactly, more targets. Thank you.
Me
Lizzie.
too.
You're fueling my rage.
Holy shit!
Oh, that's what played. Okay, sorry.
Oh,
My
I'll just
headphones
hit somebody
started
with a
playing music and it
pretzel.
was my Spotify.
Fine.
All right, I have returned. I have a burrito, but I
Oh,
will
yeah.
deal with that later.
Welcome back.
So Disney World, is that? Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah, Disney World.
Very good choice. What's their favorite ride?
Ah, fuck. I feel like, to be honest, I feel like Sunder would be the type of person to ride the teacups.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The spinning teacups and
teacups?
shit.
I rode the teacups and didn't vomit.
Yeah.
I've
Let's
never
go.
ridden them.
He would
I've only
purposely
watched
tell them
people
to
ride them. I don't
speed
think
up.
I've ridden them either.
I don't think they're real. I've never seen them in real life.
All right.
Teacups? You know, wait, hold on. Sorry,
never
we all
seen
just
real
paused.
life
You never seen
teacup-
teacups?
Well,
Not the
big
teacup
teacups.
rides, not big
You know, the
enough to
spinny
sit in.
ones. Mad
It
Hatter's
spins around really
teacup.
quick.
Yeah, true.
Sunder would just tell them to go faster.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that's how rides work.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Break control.
Beautiful.
Let me go faster than normal.
Yeah, Sunder would be the guy to pour water under the gearbox and just be like, let's fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what these teacups can do.
Let's
Let's
go.
let's fuck around and find out, bud. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
Okay, fantastic. I love this journey around the world we're getting. Okay, Leju, where would you
Okay.
take Phoenix? What would you show them?
Phoenix. Oh boy. Probably to Orefield Labs in Minnesota, United States.
What-
I saw Veritasium go there one time. Very cool place. It is home to the quietest place in the world.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like a sound
Ooh.
deprivation chamber.
Neat.
You
Yeah,
can't sit in there
yeah.
for like more than 20 minutes apparently, but maybe finally
just-
finally Phoenix can, sit there and hear himself think for once.
Gorgeous. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I love those kinds of there's like old like nuclear cooling towers that
Yeah.
are just like have been decommissioned, and the audio I watch videos, sometimes drummers go there and like go ham on a snare drum, and it just sounds wild. It sounds so cool. So yeah, a site that does the opposite would be just as cool.
Let's go.
Fantastic.
One
All
of
right.
these days, after one of these episodes, we should start. You should hit us with a question, and then we should try to guess what
Oh
other
my
people.
God.
the other.
Oh my
What the
God.
other
That's not a
characters
bad
would get to.
idea.
Mhm.
I like that.
Once we know each
I
other
like
a little
that a
more.
lot.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm sure the inter-party politics of that would be fantastic. So, does anybody want to talk about what happened last session? Because there was a lot. You can start anywhere,
Argentum
honestly. It
got
doesn't really
laid.
matter.
Very
well,
cool,
Argentum.
grats.
Well, Argentum panned to the fireplace. Not entirely
That's
sure
true.
what happened to them.
That was
but-
the end of the session. What about the beginning where Ray almost died
Yeah.
and the wall
Yeah,
chopped off the arm of Veyron?
Got a big chunk out of a god's forearm. That's
His
fantastic.
whole arm. He cut his whole arm off. In my mind.
Yeah, cut the whole arm off, and it's gone.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it anymore.
We've been marked for death. Just
There's
us
just a little
two,
chunk of it
apparently.
gone, and it grew back, but you pissed him off. That's for damn sure.
Okay, so we've all been marked for death, but it's the wall first, Zephyr second, and then you guys are in whatever order, indiscriminate.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That was the big thing. That was cool. The speeches between
yeah, that was really neat.
not the speeches, but like the monologue that Veyron was having against his mama, the essence of Lolth. That shit was a fuego.
yeah,
Fuego.
yeah.
Mm.
They had a little bit of a spat while the mere mortals kind of danced like ants around them, and one of the ants bit back, and there may be lasting consequences of that. We'll never know. We'll never know.
Oh,
That ant's
yeah,
gonna
we'll never know,
fuck
I
him
guess.
up.
The ant will become the ant lion. So yeah, we had a very intense conversation between Veyron, who you guys learned was the son of Lolth. You guys also learned through osmosis and through the conversation that the two were having a few very important notes of lore and information without having to directly ask people. And after that conversation, the entity that was housing this essence of Lolth, the visage of Lolth, the incomplete persona of Lolth, exploded, knocking you all back, kind of disapparated, and the son of Lolth, Veyron, left with his two cultists through a portal that he tore open with his sword, and they took the eye that you guys had been eyeing. You guys had your eye on the eye of Lolth, back with them into the portal, and you guys were left atop the far tower, just like you kind of like got there. It was a bit breezy. You had the council there, had a little bit of a conversation with individual council members, but Tyrael was beside himself. You also learned that one of the council members was a spy or had been tricked or betrayed or coerced or bribed in some way, the council member Ken Magane was corrupted and had been helping Veyron from the inside for quite some time. Didn't seem like that he was doing it
Stupid name for a
for his
guy
own
anyway.
free will. But what'd you say?
It's a stupid name for a guy anyway.
Right, Ken. Was that my grandfather's name? Yes, it
That's
was.
what I'm saying.
It was. It was. Um,
Someone watching is named
afterwards-
Ken is so hurt right now.
He's so pissed off. Afterwards, you guys descended the far tower through the teleportation circle. You had some time to kind of go over this information that you had gathered. You made your way to a tavern in the residential district, the Silken Vale Inn, where you met a few fun characters. You met the bartender, who seemed to be this shadow, this what am I going to call it? The shadow elemental. It was very good at assisting you guys. You guys had you imbibed some pretty potent brews for some of y'all, where you witnessed events that you would not like to come to pass. Not entirely sure the meaning of them. Still have a bit of a hazy memory of exactly what you saw, but and then you guys had a conversation amongst yourselves. What did you guys end up talking about?
Which part?
What did
Near
we
the
end up
end.
talking about?
You guys we kind of just
a lot
like
of stuff.
vibed for a bit.
Vibe for a little bit. Me specifically, I remember Argentum apologized, and that was it to Zeph. And then we had a toast. So that's right, we did a toast.
Posted.
And then I think we were talking about what we were going to do the next day, but there wasn't any decision made before we all decided we were too eepy to continue conversation.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Argentum was like, I want to go to the murder site specifically, and I need to talk
Yeah.
to the guard.
I remember that.
That's pretty much all we like kind of talked about, I think.
And Wall cut a god.
That's
Wall cut a
true.
guy.
Cut a god, and then he talked about his weird dream with the sword that cuts but gets sharper.
And nobody
Yeah.
laughed at
Yeah.
him.
And dances more erotically.
And Sunday
Yeah.
killed someone.
Thorn sword.
Sword.
Not only that, but you guys found some rooms, fairly dolled up in the style of Lolth in one way or another. Pretty interesting areas to stay the night in for some of you, maybe scary for others. But Argentum certainly found a room for themselves. They had a conversation with the proprietor of the Silken Veil Inn, the one who wears the Silken Veil themselves, Ilvare Zyra, a mysterious entity that you're not exactly sure like their motives or anything like that, but you definitely thought, with the help of the dusk flower cream, that fragrant kind of lotion that you rubbed on yourself, your forearms and your neck, as it perfumed your entire conversation, which led you to wake up the next morning with a half-clothed Zyra next to you. You are in a pretty extravagant bedroom, 4-bedpost bed, pretty nice feather bed, not quite as bouncy as you would like. The entire room has the morning light cresting in. You can see dust wafting on the wind. A nice thin breeze fills the room. A candle remains lit from the night before as it burns down to the very last bit of wick it has. And it goes out. You are awake, but Zyra is not. Argentum, what would you like to do?
Oh, goodness. I think they would just sort of go through their belongings just to make sure everything's still there and just see it's like, has anything been like messed with in the night? It's like, I slept with a person that I
Yeah,
don't
make
know.
a
I'm gonna
history check.
check all my stuff. I'ma make sure. History. Boop, 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 womp. 14.
14. It seems like everything is intact. You were able to, even though you were in some sort of lusty or drunken haze, not quite sure what in the morning. You're a little hungover. You got a bit of a headache. You may be a little dehydrated. But everything seems to be where you left it. A couple of things got kicked around the room, and you had to go searching for them for maybe a minute or so. But your searching stirs Zyra awake as she sits up and covers herself. And she says, "Good morning."
Oh, good morning. How did you sleep?
She smiles a half smile and tussles some hair over her ear. "I slept wonderfully." And her amethyst eyes pierce through you, and you feel pretty good. You feel like you've had a good night. The gory details of it seem to elude you, but you seem like you've had a good night. She gets out of bed and begins covering herself in a dressing gown, and she goes over to a corner of her room where she has an effigy and kind of takes some sticks out of this drawer that she has underneath of the effigy, sticks them in this small sand planter that is in front of it, and lights it before getting down on her knees, and she begins to mumble a prayer. And then afterwards, takes about 30 seconds, pretty quick. She dons her veil and covers her eyes once more and says, "So, I'm not quite sure what you'd like to do going about your day, but if you ever need to come back here, this place is open to you and your friends, but mostly you. Hopefully they manage to get out of our hair for long enough, distracting them with fairly nice rooms."
We
I-
will. Go for it. Yes.
And she looks like she was going to say something important, but you can't see her eyes with the veil over them, and her mouth purses a little bit, and she says, "I have work. Apologies. It's an early day."
Certainly, you can stay just for a couple more minutes. I do want to ask you one or two things. I'm rather curious.
Sure. She goes over to her beauty stand with all sorts of canisters, pink, brown, colors of all over the rainbow. She takes it out and begins doing her makeup and begins, getting herself ready for the day. As she looks at herself in the mirror, lifting the veil, you see those crystalline eyes again as she looks at you through the mirror. "What would you like to talk about?"
Well, for one, I'm assuming perhaps the alcohol took me last night, but I can't quite remember a few things. But I had some questions outside of that, if you're all right with it.
Of course. Yes, It was a bit of a blur. Not just our interaction. The entire night seemed to escape me.
Really?
Awesome.
Do you have any more specific questions? Her smile begins to fade and even out.
Well, You're welcome to tell me to mind my own business. It's something I'm used to being told, I must admit. Last night, I'm assuming you were just doing your job and running a tavern, and I'm probably reading far too much into things. The guards you were talking to, I have a little bit of a connection to them, so I was just curious, who were they exactly?
She stops doing her makeup halfway through. Her top lip is the only one that has received any sort of embellishments, and it's this wonderful purple, black, like iridescent lipstick. It's half done. Her entire face seems to be half done. It's a striking, if not very contradictory image. It's hard to place her facial features. And she looks at you and says, she puts down her makeup. Captain Velkin, a military captain, drow, unyielding adherence to moral and ethical codes, those of the old ways of love. And she looks a bit like, not disappointed, but she looks very sad.
Oh. Well, I'm not one to judge exactly. If you don't mind my asking, do you follow the old ways? I was just curious because you were praying, so not much of a cleric or religious person myself, so I'm always interested in folks that are.
She walks up to you and puts a finger to your lips and says, "Be safe, be quick, be good."
Understood. No,
She
just
smiles.
Like, lightly kiss the finger.
Oh. She smiles, and even though there is half a face of makeup on, you can see her blush on the other half. She goes back to her mirror and inhales deeply and says, "I'm not trying to rob you. I'm a friend. And if you do need any help or have any information for me that could help me, now is the time.
It depends
We
what
shared
kind
a
of...
wonderful night together, Argentum. This is not payment. I would like to try and be your friend."
Well, I'm always open to friendship. It was, enchanting, to say the least. What sort of information are you looking for, exactly?
She finishes her makeup quickly. She ties her hair up, this gorgeous, like raven purple hair up into a bun, and puts her veil back down, sits down on the bed, and says, "If you haven't noticed, I am a spy." And she gives a very soft half smile. And spies don't normally say, "I am a spy," unless they have the best interests of the person they are talking to at heart.
Mm-hmm.
You are the legendary author, Argentum. That little bout of fangirling that I had was true.
I wouldn't go so far as to say I am legendary, but I appreciate the compliment.
I spy for the other side. I ingrain myself into the old ways of Loth so that they may trust me. Her smile widens a little bit. You see that her canines are unusually sharp. And any information that I have will go to further those ends. That captain you saw last night. There are rumblings in the north of something big happening in a few of the burgs and hamlets that surround Lake Moraine. I was fishing for information. You've noticed there have been tremors lately.
Yes, there were multiple when we first arrived.
You travel with a follower of Lolth as well, do you not?
I do. I guess he's part of our little merry band.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Is there something I should know about him?
Do you trust him?
Trust him as much as anyone I first met. Honestly, I don't know much about him or any of the others, but I suppose.
I would be sure about that before you travel any further with him. Lolth is... And she looks around as though she's being watched. Lolth does love her spies. But not all of those who say they follow the old ways are your enemy. Like myself.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah,
I want
sure,
to
of course you
read
can.
this
First roll of the day.
one. 17.
17. What are you trying to suss out?
If she is being truthful about what she's been saying about herself, and like if I can trust her or not.
With her makeup on, she becomes more familiar to you because that's what you have seen the majority of the night, and you're able to read her tiny micro expressions and nuances of her facial features as she is talking to you. And yeah, she seems to be telling the truth about herself. Very much so. Almost passionately so.
I'm just making a note.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. My little note taker, I'm like.
Well, I will keep an eye out on Zephyriel, as well as the others. Like I said, I don't know much about them. But is there any information that you think might help us along the way? New to the area.
If you are looking for information, contrary to popular belief, a tavern or inn is not where to find it in Ivbronca. Not since we've opened our doors to the wide world of Welde. You would be better set looking for information in the market district. Hundreds of stories of the deepest secrets Welde has to offer, all for sale.
I see. I suppose that makes sense. I wanted to check out the market district anyway.
As she's continuing this conversation, she slowly begins to don her daily wear, blouses and a corset, and a few more feminine items of garment. And by the time done having your conversation, she's fully dressed. And she looks at you and says, oh, she looks out at the sun. Is it really already that late? I do want to sleep some more, but I do have to go to work.
Duty calls.
And she goes to the door and opens it and looks out down the hallway, left and right, and then opens it and ushers for you to leave the room.
Argentum will give her like a little half bow as they exit the room, and just a very soft thank you very much for a wonderful night and for all the information.
You feel her look you up and down as you leave. Thank you. And she closes the door behind her and puts her veil down in front of her eyes and gives you another half smile before going downstairs to her right. And you see her disappear around the corner.
As she leaves, Argentum's just gonna stand there for a sec and just okay. All right. Good. And suddenly their very charismatic, like smooth demeanor just evaporates.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Turn
crumbles.
into a little shy, blushing nerd.
Okay. Fantastic.
That's them, and they'll make their way downstairs. They'll give Zyra a little bit of time to go downstairs first, and then wait like 2 minutes, and then go downstairs themselves. So then there's like no trail.
You go downstairs, and Zyra is gone. You don't see her anywhere. You spend, 60 seconds looking around. The place ain't that big. Looks very foreign to you with like daylight coming in because you're so used to it being so dark and mysterious. But now it just looks like any old tavern, with a lot of pillows on the ground. But Zyra is gone, and you see the dark shade entity doing bartender things. He's polishing some glasses, making sure all the spirits are in check, doing inventory. But yeah, there's maybe 1 or 2 patrons there. Look like they have just woken up.
They'll find a table, and just prepare to order food for whenever their party makes their way downstairs, and just start writing and just taking notes of everything that Zyra said, and just not everything, but like like almost cliff notes of like their night.
Sure.
It's like maybe I'll write about this later, like sort of like mapping something out.
Sure. Okay, fantastic. All right. So those of you who went into the Shadow Weaver's chamber, who did that exactly?
What was that?
I honestly forget.
I don't
Was
think we
it
got
the
that
first
far.
room we looked at, or the second?
The
That was
Arachnid
the
Embrace
first one.
was the second one. This is the
Okay.
first one. The second one was the
remember-
spider theme.
Sorry, they all sound like spider stuff, so I couldn't.
It should. Yeah, we're in a Lolth kind of zone here.
If I remember correctly, Zephyriah went into the one that was more arachnid themed, and
Okay.
I don't think the others decided which ones they were going in, but they had the other key. So one of the others opened up the shadow,
Yeah.
the one in complete
I
darkness.
opened up the complete darkness one.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'd assume you'd be in that one.
And it's strange for those of you that are in the Shadow Weaver's chamber. You do wake up, and it still feels in every way like the middle of the night in this room. There is no sun coming in. The curtains have blocked everything out. You have this very strange, soft blue glow about the room as your eyes have still adjusted to the nighttime.
I think it might just be me in here, actually.
Oh, is this you in there?
I think it might just be me in there because I think it was the 3 of them, and then it's supposed to be Phoenix and Argentum. But Argentum,
Oh yeah, right.
found another place to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wake up and curiously, Argentum is nowhere in the room. It still looks like it's still pretty dark outside. What do you do?
So I'm in this nice bed. How does it feel?
The bed?
Hmm.
The bed is extravagant. There's a canopy of like spider web lace above you. It's like this weird black lace. The mattress is down. It is feather. Very nice. Very comfortable. This is a significantly more comfortable room than what you were staying at in the White's Rest, just outside the town. But yeah, it's very nice. It doesn't feel like you want to get out of bed. Like you could stay there all day. You had quite the day yesterday.
Okay. Phoenix is gonna take a moment to fill the bed, and he's gonna probably think to himself, maybe there are some perks to sticking with this group, you know? And then he's going to lift off the covers after, like, debating for a while, and his like pack and all this stuff is under the covers with him, and all this
Okay.
stuff. And he's
Okay.
gonna probably take the morning to inspect his things and clean his gear
Okay.
before heading down.
Fantastic. And those of you who are in the Arachnid's Embrace room, you guys wake up and it does feel like morning in this room. There is some, the light is beginning to crest the horizon. The sun is beginning to poke its head out, and it fills the area with a wincing amount of light as you wake up. But it's cool. The windows are open. There's a stern breeze coming in, kind of filtering everything out of the room, making it nice and fresh. What do you guys do?
I probably would. You said there was a separate room that had a big bathroom in it. Big bath or a big bathroom.
Yeah, this has
so
an ensuite. This room has an ensuite bathroom as well. Yes.
I think after just feeling around the place and knowing where everything is and just kind of mapping out a layout, I would have locked or I would have locked myself in the bathroom and then slept in the bathtub. So that's where I'd be
Locked
waking
yourself
up.
in the bathroom and slept in the bathtub.
Yeah, after my nightly routine that I try
Okay.
to do away from anyone's eyes, and then I would have just slept in the cold bathtub,
Okay.
surrounded by the walls of the bathtub.
Yeah, you wake up and your back is tight. You slept in a black marble tub, and as you get up, you feel this very smooth interior, almost slipperingly so. But you're able to get out and put your hands and your feet. They meet the cold black marble as you kind of feel around and get bearings on your surroundings. You wake up and you're ready to go.
May I do we have time to try and do something quickly?
Of course.
While I still have while I'm still alone, if that's okay with the other two.
Sure. Doors
Go for it.
closed.
I want to unravel once I wake up and just sort of crack my entire vertebrae from sleeping on
Yeah.
the it's me in
Tight
real life.
muscles more so than popping, but yeah, you can work out the kinks.
I want to unravel the I guess I want to unravel the weapon that's been around my waist and torso.
Okay.
And I want to feel around the area where Veyron grabbed and was, I guess, burned, or just he was forced to let go, and just see if I sense anything there as residue.
On where he grabbed you.
Where he grabbed the whip.
Okay. You unfurl this long, solid length of tapered leather. The handle itself is woven several times over. This is very familiar to you. It's practiced, and you haven't taken it out in quite some time. You miss it. And you run your hands over the intricate carvings and subtle reliefs that are in the leather itself, and you do find the spot that was touched by him. You are so practiced with this weapon; it is very easy to find it, but you don't really notice anything off about it. To you, right now, this is a very, very, very important object. But to anybody else, it's just a whip.
All right. I'll just have to ravel it back up. Maybe make it a lot tighter, so
Okay.
on the chance it gets pulled out again. And
You hear
then
the rub of leather against your skin as well as itself.
yeah, that's all I wanted to inspect.
Okay. Everybody else who is in the spider themed room, what do you guys do? Sunder, Wall. You get up to.
Wall's already up, and he's been doing push-ups with one hand all
Hell yeah,
morning.
yes. Okay, yeah. You, everybody who has awoken hears the unfamiliar creak of a massive amount of weight being pressed against these oaken boards in this room. Very rhythmic.
Yeah, it's like a solid pace that he's going at, but yeah, he's already up to like the hundreds, and he's been alternating hands every 100 reps or so.
Make an athletics check.
Oh, with pleasure. I don't think I'm actually. Oh no, I am.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
fuck yeah!
Let's go.
That's when he
Oh
working
my
out,
God.
baby.
The intensity and the voraciousness which the wall has started to work out has woken both Zeph and Sunder up. That is what you kind of rise to hear just outside the door for you, Zeph, inside in that wonderfully carved out tub. And then Sunder, where are you? How do you get woken up by this tremendous man doing man things?
How many beds are in this room? Is it just one?
I think there's just the one. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
there's just the one.
I feel like with how
You
Sunder
snuggle with the
is,
wall.
no, as nice as that would be, no, I think Sunder is like on the floor, kind of like propped up against the wall. Not the wall doing push-ups.
Right.
Yeah, I had to emphasize. But he's just kind of like propped up against the wall, and he fucking opens his eyes. He didn't really sleep that great as previous session.
Sure.
Didn't really sleep that well. And he kind of just observes what Wall's doing. You're getting your pump in, big guy.
Oh, yes. Sorry if I have woken you up. I am doing my morning routine. 678, 679, 680, 681.
And he keeps going.
I think this is where Sunder will stand up and probably go knock on the door of the bathroom.
It opens
Check on
immediately.
Zeph.
And then you hear, "Good morning, my favorite contractors. What's on the agenda for today?"
Your guess is as good as mine. I would assume we're, getting
I
back
do
with the
not
rest of the
know
group.
either.
Well, let's hurry. Maybe we can beat them before they see us, and then we can leave promptly. Or what's the general reaction? You guys are we sticking with the others, or?
I feel like we're both kind of just looking at you like crazy.
as he's still doing push-ups while he's looking at you like, huh?
Asking out loud, what's the general reaction is amazing.
What are the vibes, chat?
What are the vibes?
Zeph just vibe checked both of us. Good God.
Kidding. We'll meet up with them and then decide as a group. When you're done, Wall.
Yes, I am finishing up now.
How many more?
I think it would be good if we are traveling in a large group. It would make it easier to keep you safe from any skullduggery that is happening in the city. It is happening all the time, I feel like.
As long as they're not inspecting payment the way you two are, you have a point.
It is. This is true. Perhaps we can simply say that we are traveling together out of safety and not no formal contract or anything. Yes.
Sounds good to me. I happen to
Wonderful.
them.
I think I'll just start to feel my way to the door, and then whenever. Oh, I think we'll stand there like just silently awkward until Wall is finished. The next 300 push-ups,
you hear,
and then we'll
you guys
leave.
all. Yeah, you guys all hear outside the window the shouts and calls and barks and children beginning to play as the sun hits about 11 a.m. It's pretty late in the morning.
Oh, nice.
And that's your signal. The day is beginning, and you guys get out of there. You guys leave.
Yeah, of course, once
Yeah.
Wall's done with the push-ups.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Well, this was like his victory lap of
Yeah.
push-ups. He already did a ton before.
This is the extra. This is the extra. That's right.
Okay.
Cool.
The victory lap. Okay, cool. You
Yeah,
guys
we'll head
open
down.
the door. And Zeph, what do you or not Zeph? Phoenix, do you leave your room?
Yeah, I probably would have left earlier
Okay,
than
cool.
those
You
three
see
talking.
the door to the Shadow Weaver's chamber slightly ajar as you look inside, and it seems to be pretty dark in there. You can't see a whole lot, but doesn't look like anybody's in there. And you push down the hallway, past numerous other rooms, similarly themed, and you descend the stairs and turn the corner, and Argentum is sitting there, in the kind of lowered area of the tavern common space. There's a couple other people who are patrons there. One is reading a book, and the other one is stirring some tea, staring absentmindedly at a fire. But Argentum, what are you doing?
Argentum is probably just sipping some tea and is just writing, just kind of seemingly lost in their own little world, just working.
The shade pops up next to you and just starts, cleaning up from the night before, fluffing pillows, moving things around. There's some very light activity going on.
Yeah,
feel
at
like-
this point, probably Phoenix is already ascending down the stairs. And
Sure,
probably
yeah.
gonna make his way towards Argentum and just like sit down across from them.
So,
Does Argentum react at all?
Nope.
Socializing.
I'm gonna like lean over and then like tilt my head in a little bit. Any, any,
Hello,
any color in those eyes? We good?
I'm good. Sorry, I was fixated. Good morning.
Yeah. You're an early riser. I didn't see you in the room last night.
Oh, I was slept elsewhere.
Oh, don't tell me on the street. You
Oh,
could have knocked. I could have let you
Oh
in.
goodness, no. I was they'll like look down at their book and their tea, and they're just. I was sampling the local cuisine.
oh,
Ah. And
Wait
like
with
at,
words.
the middle of the night.
Yes, there's a lot of excitement to be had here at the tavern after hours.
Ah. How did it taste?
Wonderful.
I'm glad you got your fill. I didn't realize you were that hungry after the feast, but I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
called the fuck out.
They
The,
look like they
You
are
do have my
trying
favorite-
to. They look like they're trying to keep their decorum together, but it is definitely cracking.
Suppose the other ones aren't woken up yet. I'm just gonna basically ignore the reaction that's coming from Argentum.
I haven't seen them.
Okay, well, after they show up, probably a bite to eat, and then wherever you want to go.
I don't know if it's entirely up to me, but
You seem like the one with the plan.
I suppose I have a couple places that I think would be ideal for investigation, but it depends what the others would like to do. I got a tip-off that the market district would be somewhere we should definitely take a look
Tip
at.
off, huh? Okay.
I have my ways. I talk to people.
Off that snippet of conversation, the wall turns the corner, and gives a big old stretch, and everybody else assumes the tavern. What do you guys do? How do you guys? There's a lot that you can do. Again, like we said last session, the world map has been. You can press M. The world map has been revealed, and you have several different plot hooks and threads that you can explore if you would like to. But you go ahead. The game is yours.
Wall's gonna sit down right next to Argentum, if there is like a chair in that space, I guess.
Are they here already?
Yes, they are all here.
Good morning.
Good morning, my
great.
friends. I hope you all slept well, huh?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good
I-
morning.
I did. Did all of you sleep all right? I hope the
Slept
rooms
fantastic,
were
actually,
good for
yeah.
you.
Like a baby on a rock.
I slept like a little levy. Just,
Is-
nothing disturbed my sleep. It was very comfortable.
Sorry, I'm still on this baby on a rock thing.
So today we have.
No. You're going to
That's what
answer
you
my
like to
questions.
explain where you
Ephraim.
slept.
How many babies on rocks have you witnessed in your life?
Recently, and then wave my hand from my face. None.
Disregarding you, of course. I guess no.
Let's see.
It is fine if baby sleeps in rock. That is strong baby. It is. It does not fear anything.
Exactly. See, Wall understands me. Wall gets me.
Argentum, next to you, the shade appears again, the shadow elemental, and reaches into their stomach and pulls out ham and eggs and all sorts of different breakfast materials, strange sausages and meats and wine. And you hear in your left ear, it bends over and says, "Compliments of the house." And disappears. Steaming food in front of you is way too much for just one person.
The local cuisine.
That guy is the slickest waiter of all time. Also, local. This is what you ate last night?
Sure.
Did you just get free shit?
I think so.
Didn't
How?
think they
Where's
sold
ours?
ham
Where's
that late at
Wall's?
night.
It's. What was that, Sunder?
I said I didn't think they sold ham that late at night.
You can.
I mean, from the sound
Late
of
night
it,
It was
ham.
anytime food.
from what our agenda was telling me before you guys came down, got a mouthful of the ham last night, apparently.
They
You
will
can't start your day
spit
without a
out their
mouthful of meat.
tea. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, food aside, I do want to make sure Wall gets the food.
Remember,
So I'll
this
put an order in.
It's okay. I'm already.
Oh, never
eating.
mind.
Like he's already eating the food that's there.
This is for the table, I'm assuming.
Oh, I thought it was just for one person. Like it was a small dish. I'm sorry, I can't see.
Oh no, this is way too much food for just one person. This seems like this is like one and a
bad, my
half
bad, my
walls
bad.
worth of food,
This-
if
no,
not
this-
two.
1.5 walls worth
Okay,
of
it's
food.
still not enough. But anyway, so we're supposed to meet with Kelly again this morning, but I'm also curious how the nephew of the Baron is doing this morning as well, and also the council. And I still have 2 silver bars. And there's a marketplace, I hear.
Big money grip.
Yeah.
So there, we should definitely.
Yeah.
I would still like to go see the crime scene, as it were.
Probably a good call.
And I think the market district might be a place of interest. I've come to understand that there's information to be. And they'll sort of like lower their voice and kind of lean in towards the group. Just information to be found or bought if we are in the market for it. So
That's what the bars are for.
they sell many things.
Information for. What are you still looking for exactly? Because we do know who killed and why the Baron.
That's true. Probably.
See, my priority right now, I think, before I leave this town and I guess, go home, back to the church, there are 1,000 newborn baby deriders underneath. That's what they're called, yes. And they're going to be released, and Veyron's going to come for us. So I would like to maybe not have that happen.
The
There is a
Raiders are
chance
sleeping
that-
on rocks.
You know?
I said the Raiders are sleeping on rocks.
Yeah, see,
true.
baby on rocks. They're
of them.
dangerous.
Oh, is that where the term comes from? I see.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I think he's referring to himself. I mean, he slept in the bathroom. So,
You slept in the bathroom. Why?
It's comfortable. Cold.
that bathtub
Cold,
looks
hard
real
porcelain.
good.
And importantly, it's private.
Uh-huh.
I see.
I guarantee you, I slept better than you did, and I slept on the floor.
Just sort of
Was it
tilt my
not your
head, and there's
bed?
like a loud crack. I slept fine.
Uh-huh. I absolutely believe you. I've
Very
never
audible crack is heard.
I've never met a more truthful person in my entire life.
Insight check.
I'm gonna insight my sarcasm. Wait.
I'm kidding. So which direction first? Are we all on the same page? We want to get rid of well, we want to avoid Veyron? Or we want to make
I
sure
would
that these
expect so.
people, these great people of this city that the Baron left behind, don't die. Right?
Well, I know that the captain of the guard wanted to see me, so that'll be fun, I'm sure.
Probably be something. Should probably also check back in with what's his face?
With Kelly, your friend's son.
Chilly. Yeah, but I think personally, we don't have to be there for a little bit. If we gain more information, it'd be best if we didn't come back empty-handed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, I've said where I want to go. Votes are in, I suppose.
True.
Go ahead.
Do
I'm
you
all in.
think it is good idea to go to marketplace if there will be many people there? Because we did have the situation where they attacked us from the crowds and threw knives at Zephrel.
I was
And
gonna say.
tried to kill one, but they got away.
Well, I can take a few more today, so. No need to worry there, Wall.
How are you feeling, by the way?
Less poisoned. But like someone's always watching me. Don't you feel that way?
I don't always feel like someone's watching me.
No.
I mean, I feel like
It
some
depends on
things-
the context, I suppose. Depends where I am.
True. Well, I'm fine with the marketplace first. Should check in with Kelly. He was quite jittery at the end of all of our conversations, and you know how that went for me, my caution, getting stabbed.
All right, let's hit them up in order then, and then Kelly last.
All right, let's do it. Marketplace we go.
Alright. Marketplace.
Okay.
we
To the
go.
marketplace.
I could use some new threads.
Y'all stand up, and you walk out the door. It's pretty bright. There were shades drawn in the tavern's like common space. It's pretty bright outside. We're just cresting around noon. The sun is very, very high in the sky. But it is, again, midwinter, so it's rather chilly. And you guys press on into the throngs in these very wide streets, underneath lanterns that are slowly beginning to be snuffed out for the morning. And it's not that far to the market district. It's kind of adjacent to the residential district, but you can see it. The district itself is housed inside this hundreds of feet tall pagoda that kind of dominates the center of the city itself. And this is where you guys were there to witness the wake and the ceremony of remembrance to Baron Edo the Elder. This is where the community kind of laid him to rest. You guys do remember that it was a bit put away. The market district was a bit put away, pushed over to the sides, and then everybody started to pull their wares out as soon as the ceremony had come to an end. So you weren't able to see the full majesty of the Velda Market District in Ivbranca. As you approach it, it is a testament to the city's emergence as a world power. Yeah, it's this blossoming pagoda that is a center for trade, cultural exchange. There are people from various races and creeds from all over the place. You see people who look like they have just gotten in and are looking for a place to go. Immigrants, migrants, people just passing through. People here who are hawking their wares. Children, elderly. It is an incredibly diverse space, and it looks like a one that is positively so. The pagoda itself casts like a silhouette on the entire city. There is a shadow that gets cast on the whole city. And as you get closer, you notice that there are pieces of fungi that are kind of grown out of the ground in certain areas that serve as very soft lighting in the darker corners of the pagoda. You get close to the entrance, and it is open. It is all open. People passing through. 50-foot tall doors, iron-banded oaken doors that open up, and on either side of the door, there are two reliefs of characters from a Broncan past. Sunder, you aren't sure exactly who these people are, but they do look very important. They look revered, and they look regal. As you walk into the pagoda itself, you are in this nexus of trade, and you look up, and there are silken bridges, rope bridges that are spanning either side of the pagoda. You look up and you can see the sun. It looks like at noon the sun is directly over the pagoda, crashing down light and casting all kinds of fun shadows with the strange shapes of everything and everyone that is inside of this market. You are smacked in the face by this incredibly powerful scent of exotic spices, a musky, earthy plant smell, aromas of like rare delicacies being prepared, food stalls, steam and smoke dot every little which way of this pagoda. You see smoked meats from creatures that you may never meet in your life. There are spiced skewers of mushrooms, sugar-encrusted pastries and fungi, all sorts of culinary delights, and you see runes that are embedded into these merchant stalls, magical lights that are highlighting certain wares, jewels and gleaming weapons and armors and magic scrolls. There are bursts of laughter, and you in the distance you can hear some bursts of spellcraft, even the soft strumming of music in one far corner. It is a symphony of lively marketeering. There are barks and calls to come and check out these certain wares and this magical item that has come far across the sea. All sorts of fun inspiration from what looks to be the Underdark as well. There is a lot of exports that are coming out of here that seem to be the main export. Is anything that comes from the Underdark goes through Ivbranca, and you guys are smack dab in the center of it. People are moving all around you. You seem to be one of the few people that are actually standing, or one of the few sets of people that are actually standing still here. What do you do?
Wow.
Wall's like keeping a very close eye on like everybody that passes by. He's full on guard mode right now.
Make an investigation check.
I can't see shit.
Oh,
It's
but
not. Oh,
yeah.
my God.
There's a lot of smoke. There's steam hazing, especially at your height. You are one of the taller people in the crowd, so you can get a good look about like all over. But above everybody else's heads is a thick layer of smoke and steam and fog and bright lights and loud sounds, and it's very distracting. So it's kind of hard for you to get a bearing on what is actually happening here. But it smells really nice. 26
Remind-
athletics and a 1 investigation.
That track.
Dichotomy of Goliath.
Remind me how much 2 pounds of silver bars is?
If I recall correctly, it was 10 gold apiece, right?
So 10
For
gold.
each of the silver bars. So it would be 20 gold that you have in silver. Trade bars, yeah.
Okay.
Trade bars.
Well, Sunder, I'm not that good at getting information, but if there's anything you need to do your jobs better, it's on me. If they sell that kind of thing here, it sounds busy and smells funky.
Yeah,
There are
funky is a good word
many
for it.
things. There are many things around. There's smoking meats. There's some mushrooms, different things.
Well, you said this would be a good
Resource.
resource of information, so why don't you lead?
I was gonna say,
I
yeah, you seem to know
Suppose.
the way, maybe.
Honestly,
What's your-
my
What's your passive perception, Argento?
Let me tell you.
It is 15.
15? Oh, yeah, you see it. It's one of the first things you see when you walk in, especially like your eye and ear are trained like a hound to spot this exact thing. And it's a bookstore.
Let's fucking go.
The second you walk in, you notice this in the far corner. There's a bookstore that has. You have to get a little closer into the center of the pagoda to be able to waft away some of the smoke that's in front of you and the incense. But there's a sign out front that is oak, banded in iron, and gilded in some strange purple, like shiny purple material on the lettering itself, and it says Windwell. And as you get closer, the unmistakable smell of fresh, new parchment assaults your nose. But yeah, you see that over there in the distance, and that kind of your rider sense is a tingling.
I think I know where we should stop first.
And they'll just start walking towards it.
Okay.
Great. Hope it's not a bookstore.
I hate to break the news to you.
Yeah.
I'll follow.
Follow.
The
Fine.
closer you get, the more you start to notice that this is this actual. It kind of looks like it's in a mall, like a residential mall. This is a recessed store that is built into the wall of the pagoda that looks like it's changed hands so many times. There's different design styles. There's thick layers of paint on the outside that have been starting to peel away of different colors, some vibrant, some dull, and then down at the base you see like an onyx material. But on the inside you can see, looks like there are scrolls, tomes, magical artifacts. There are people who, your people, the intellectuals, wandering around on the inside, unfurling scrolls, reading them, furling them back, putting them away as wisps of smoke on the inside start to fall over their hair and their garb. It looks very homey in there, and it looks, to you, the most welcoming sight so far.
Looks like there's all sorts of artifacts, tomes, scrolls. Could be some good information in there if you're willing.
Sounds about good to me.
How's it doing?
Do you know exactly what you're looking for here, or?
No, I was just my contact that I met last night. They said that the market district was
While you were
full of
eating
all
ham.
kinds
Yeah. I presume
Yes.
together.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, why don't you all make what is everybody's passive perception?
10.
A passive 14.
Yeah, 14?
14.
Okay.
14 as well.
14. All right, Phoenix and Wall, you both see another store, and on the second floor of the pagoda, and you are both fairly skilled in martial combat, so you know a smithy when you hear one. The distinct tapping and banging of metal on metal, and you even see some sparks start to fly off the second floor as you barely make out the sign that has been made out of like tapped tin, not necessarily like drawn or painted on, but this is a physical sign that has been made by the smith that says the Blade's Whisper. This is on the second floor. It looks to be fairly busy. But yeah, that's another fun little thing you see. And as you guys have been walking around, you have definitely noticed there's myriad food carts with all sorts of wonderful foodstuffs for you to try on sale, on offer. Some of you have even probably been flagged down or offered free samples. But yes, Argentum, you are free to enter the bookstore.
Yep, they're going in.
Okay. You open the black painted door. The glass itself of the door is a little foggy, so you don't see it until you open it all the way. But it is gorgeous. And as a matter of fact, this is a store that has 3 stories. It is huge. It is full of tomes and scrolls. So much so that they're starting to pile up on the floor. And in the far end, it looks like the proprietor or whoever is, making the sales themselves has just finished bringing up another customer who pushes past you and actually bumps into you. And they're carrying a hefty amount of scrolls. They have these dark-rimmed circle glasses on and a pointed nose. They look to be half drow, half human. And they say, sorry. And they push out the door and in a hurry. But you make eye contact with the worker there, and they smile at you before bowing their head and writing something on a scroll.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to this male, this half drow, half human, grabs a tome and adjusts his octagonal glasses, and he pushes aside some perpetually distracted long red hair, and he says, "Welcome to Windwell, purveyor of rare scrolls, tomes, and magical artifacts, where scholars and sorcerers alike can find ancient knowledge and arcane wares sourced from across the plains. Can I," he flips the paper over, "help you?"
It looks like a pair of stop signs.
He looks like a pair of stop signs.
Well, darling, I was curious if you had anything, well, strange or interesting.
Strange or interesting, eh?
Yes.
Let's see, and he disappears behind a black curtain. And you're kind of left with like 2 or 3 other people that are just, reading these books, enjoying this, opening some scrolls. Some of them seem to be doing some math over in the corner, sourcing out some, there's gold being traded. This looks to be a larger exchange. And then he pushes the curtains back and parts them again. And it's kind of hard to see in the back. It's pretty dark, but he comes out and says, this just came in. Caravan that was on kind of got ransacked, so this is the last of it. But this is actually quite a fantastic piece. Would you care to take a look? And he kind of ushers you forward with very eager eyes. Oh. And he adjusts his glasses. He shakes his head and pushes back his red hair one more time. This is a memory scroll. And as you can see, he unveils it, and it's this blue paper. Not necessarily like any sort of like made or milled parchment, but it is a very fine paper. He unfurls it. Looks like it's been curled up forever, stacked on top of many more just like it. This is a memory scroll. It is a scroll that, when activated and with the proper magical zhuzhing, it will, and he gestures for you to come closer. And he adjusts his glasses one more time and gets a really good look at you. It's very awkward. And his pupils start to dilate. His eyes dart around all over you. And he inhales a little bit. It will play the last conversation that was held in its vicinity. So, if a friend of yours is over in the corner whispering, you go over to that corner, unveil the scroll, and if you're lucky, you may find out what they're talking about. It's for spies. He says that really loud.
Is it obvious that this guy's like checking Argentum out, like very?
Are you in the
closely?
room? Are you in the? Did you walk into?
I think we all like follow.
I think
him.
we're all looking.
Okay, yeah,
We're all
you
just
all
standing
kind of
there, like in the lobby.
pile in. You're taken aback by the amount of books and scrolls and tomes that are just here, laying loose, and as well in bookshelves that are a couple stories tall with some ladders back and forth. Very, very comfy place. But yeah, it's not hard to see. He's not making it very secretive at all. He's not trying to hide what he's doing. He just looks to be kind of like socially inept, maybe a little thick.
My kind of
But-
people.
The glasses are thick, or he is thick.
He is as in like not sharp.
No, just-
But yeah, it also looks like he is fairly new here. Not very well versed in working in this particular magical artifact, tome, sorcerer, whatever shop, whatever the Windwell sells. But yeah, he looks at you and kind of like squints again, and I'm sorry, are you Argentum, the author?
yeah.
Yes, I am, but
Oh, I knew it! Zan! Zan! And he kind of calls for somebody in the back.
This is gonna become a regular thing, isn't it?
Here we go again.
Well, are you sure you don't
And-
want to check out a different store?
And
I
there's
just
no
look back
response.
at you like almost apologetically.
I just realized, we probably should have checked out the our stores before we came to the marketplace, just in case. We already owned the stuff that we needed.
There is no reply to him shouting, and he's just kind of like looking at you like an eager puppy. Oh, I knew it. You probably want something a bit more fun than this memory scroll. This is nothing. This
that
is...
sounds very interesting and actually rather useful. You were doing a great job. Don't let my reputation stop you. You're
The
doing
skin
great.
that is very taut on his young drow cheeks. This blue skin kind of takes on a purple hue as he starts to blush at you. Oh, you're too kind.
We've all been new once.
Yep. And he looks very nervous. He doesn't knows what to say. He's like, yeah. Were you, and he runs
think you
behind the
should-
counter, back, parting the curtains. You see his tail, this short little stubby tail, like whip back behind the curtains, and there is silence until you start to hear some like behind, in the darkness of the shop.
We need an Argentum autograph counter.
I was gonna say, I think for the rest of this conversation, you should stick with dialogue found in the book, so he doesn't take 7 years. Anything that he can find the script for, I think would be, in the interest of time.
Listen, I don't mean for this to happen. This is why I don't go out all that often.
Hello, I would like to purchase a book. Flip to page 34. Yes, here is the book you're looking at, and then we're out of here. You feel?
Maybe it's not me that needed a disguise.
Oh, so
Maybe we
you're in a
should get you a
disguise.
disguise.
Oh,
Good to know.
it was an idea yesterday
blackness of
to
the
avoid me
curtains
getting
part
stabbed.
once more, and a tall, ginger, freckled, very cheerful-looking woman with very striking green eyes. Oh, it is you. Why didn't you tell me less? I tried to. And from behind in the back, you hear, I tried to. I'm just so nervous. Hello. My name is Zanafir. It's a pleasure to meet you, the Argentum.
Oh, please, just Argentum is
The only one that
fine.
has "the" in front of their name is the Wall.
That's true.
This is true.
You and your compatriots, what do I owe the honor? She starts to slowly but like obviously clean up a little bit. This place has been a little bit disheveled and messy, but she looks embarrassed almost. You can see
Oh.
the red flush to her cheeks.
Oh, please, please. I promise you, my library back home is if not more messy. This is honestly comfortable. So don't worry about it.
I would say I am very sorry. And you notice, just like yours, her fingers are stained with ink as well. Very easy to tell on such a very like white, translucent, powdery skin. And her store is a chaotic like maze of scrolls and stuff. So composes herself, adjusts her blouse. Welcome to the Windwell, purveyor of rare scrolls, tomes, and magical artifacts, where scholars and sorcerers alike can find ancient knowledge and arcane wares sourced from across the plains. How can I help you, Argentum?
Well, your employee was telling me about this lovely scroll here. The memory
yes.
scroll. That sounds
Scroll of echoing memories. Yes.
echoing
We had a
memories. That's fascinating.
whole shipment supposedly come in, but been ransacked. Goblins on the roads just outside of town. It's a sad state of affairs.
It's an all too common occurrence, unfortunately.
Yes. And it's costing us. He looks over at the pile of gold and the transaction that is occurring between what looks to be an official of the city and another employee. It is costing us dearly.
Interesting.
Interesting. Well, mostly I'm in town on business, and I was hoping to find some possible tomes of history, anything about
Yes. Please
and
look
if you
around.
have
Anything.
magical, absolutely. If you can point me in
Second
the right
floor.
direction.
Second floor is all history and scholarly research. First floor is fiction and the magic every now and again. Trifles, tiny things. If you would like, I can show you to where you may find what you're looking for.
Certainly, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, follow me. And she lifts up the door that is next to the counter itself and goes over to one of the bookshelves and puts a hand on either side, about 3 or 4 foot's breadth, and pushes the bookshelf aside, revealing a look to be off-trod stairway up to the second floor. Please, be my guests. Your friends are free to look around elsewhere.
Books
I
in
guess it
this
must be,
medium.
Because we got Q to lead. What's happening?
Do
here?
you have anything that people who are blind could read through touch?
Yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. It's one of our very few books, but it's on the 3rd floor, if you are so inclined.
I would like to take that out with me, and however much you would like for it.
Her eyes light up. However much.
Well, whatever my pockets can afford, but you understand my meaning. Whatever it costs.
Of course. Yes, she walks up the stairs first, and every, 5 or 6 steps, she looks back to see if you guys are still following. And you reach the landing of the 2nd floor. I have to go pee really quick, so I'll be right back.
Be right-
Very on
Is that what
brand.
they're saying, or is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
small bladder team.
Shit, he's already gone. Okay.
not taking piss no more.
Not
Fuck this.
taking piss no
Oh
more.
shit!
Your
Oh,
piss speed is
wow.
just unreal, man.
I know, right?
Unreal piss speed.
I try my best. You guys get to the second floor, and there are a couple of other people here looking at books and just reading, taking everything in. One person's over by a corner, over by the wall, not the wall, but over by a wall, next to a window, letting the sunlight come in, and they're carefully reading. And Zan goes over to one bookshelf and says, "So, this is our recent histories. What exactly are you looking for? Or if you would like me to leave you alone so you can do it yourself, by all means. I don't mean to dominate your time at all."
No, you're fine. There's no need for any nervousness. I definitely have questions. Histories on Eve Bronca, and if you have any histories of the churches of Lolth or anything like that,
Oh, of course, we have an
It's not
extensive religious
exactly where
section.
I'm studied, so if you can point me in the right direction, I would appreciate it.
She walks you guys over to the corner of this particular floor, and she gestures to this an entire bookshelf and says, "I am going to let you search. I trust you know exactly what you're looking for, and I don't mean to pry. And my son seems to be," and she looks out over the railing, and he's having another interaction with another customer, and he's pulled out the same little note that he's been reading, introducing them to the shop. And he's
Go assist.
his heart's in the right place. Thank you so much. And he or she runs around the corner, goes down the stairs, and appears underneath of you guys. You can see over the railing. You seem to be relatively by yourself. There's still like one or two people around you, so I wouldn't say anything crazy. But you're free to look around.
Crazy.
Wouldn't say anything crazy.
Yeah, I do not understand the point of these kinds of places.
Really?
Why is there so much need for books anyway? I do not understand.
Well,
Stories.
go ahead.
No,
What
that's
was
it.
that? Just stories. That's what they're for. No.
Yeah,
That's it.
stories or histories recorded, magic scrolls for casters of all kinds. Sometimes they have artifacts of the magical variety.
But
And,
where the stories that are written in book? Where is the artistry of hearing a tale told by a strong, well trained bard? Huh? Where is the action, the music, the I do not know. I do not understand why the pages could possibly compare to a storyteller telling you a story.
As you say music, the door opens up once more, and every time that door opens, you hear the siren song of a blacksmith tapping away, and the sweet smells of food and everything just are so enticing on the inside, from the inside. But Argentum, you're looking for a history book?
Yeah, they're primarily looking for if there's histories on Lolth's church or just
Sure.
on Lolth herself, anything about what's been going on. Just trying to use their knowledge to find any threads that might help in what they're researching here.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give this man an honorable
Almost.
sponsor.
Boop.
Nice.
Nat 20, baby!
Holy
Let's
shit!
go.
Yeah, it's not very hard to find. There is a rather like large metal and leather, purple leather bound book, and on the spine it says "On Gods and Lothlorian."
Oh, well, that's perfect, isn't it?
And you take it out, and it is quite heavy. It's probably 30 or so pounds, but most of that seems to be in the binding. And you take it. You find there is a small like lectern with a reading light next to this bookshelf, and a window that kind of looks out onto the rest of the market. And you crack the spine on this book. It is ancient. What there is an index, There's all sorts of ways for you to find the information, but what exactly are you looking for?
Who? They're gonna look into after their conversation with Zyra. They're gonna see if they can find anything regarding like spies of Lolth. Not like anyone in particular, but just any information about that faction of things that she like, you know, any spies, and then if they can find anything else regarding like driders and things like that,
Sure.
and weaknesses, things of that sort.
Okay. Make an intelligence check.
Yeah. Got reopened my character sheet.
Cool.
Hold on, I closed it like a silly.
So we're kind of like in like the history section of the.
Yeah, currently you are in the histories section, histories and magics. And then
Okay.
one above, it seems to be the third floor is the final floor, and it looks like it's less populated with books and scrolls. It looks like there's maybe 7 to 10 books up there, and there doesn't seem to be anybody up there.
They
you got a
mentioned that
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask. They
Go
mentioned
ahead,
that
go
there's a book that blind people can read up there. That's not normal, right?
No, it is not normal. I mean, it is not normal. No, there is no like traditional. There's no braille or anything like that here. But they did say that you would be able to read this. Yes. Whatever
That's
book
probably
is
where
up there.
Zephyrion would be actually then.
Okay.
Heading up there and looking for that.
Sure. Yeah. You head up there. The stairs here to the third floor are not blocked by a bookshelf at all. So you're able to get up there, and it's fairly barren. There's like 7 to 10 books populating one shelf, and the rest of them are empty. Doesn't look dusty or unkept, but it's just there's not a whole lot up here. I need you to make an investigation check, so you see if you can find this book. And Argentum, you got a 22 to look for information on driders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It does it's near the end of the book. And it's like this weird, almost I mean, for lack of a better term, bestiary. There's a couple of different things here. Some of them you've never seen before, but definitely you've seen the drider, and it has one of the same like progression of figures that Kelly had showed you on that torn off piece of paper down in his little hollow. But in addition to that, there's more information to be had. Driders are it says that driders are essentially like berserkers. They are shock troops. They are the first wave of any military operation that Lolth or any of the Sildarin engage in. They can paralyze people permanently, upwards of 3 or 4 weeks sometimes. It shows you how to remedy that as well. A list of spells that work. These driders, they have a death wish essentially. They go in and they fight until they cannot fight anymore. If they have arms, they're going to use them to attack. If they have legs, they're going to use them to pierce and stab. Their webs are like they can use them almost indefinitely. They're part of their body. It's an organic thing. They have dark vision, but the dark vision they have is a remnant of being drow. It's not as powerful as when they were a fully formed drow. However, the figures and charts and things that you're able to cross-reference with these about the information with these driders, they're difficult to reason with. You can't like talk to them. You can speak with them, but you can't like talk to them. It's almost impossible to reason with them. They move and operate like spiders. They can walk upside down on ceilings. They can, climb sheer rock faces. They can cast a litany of spells. Some of which you know, some of which you don't. They can cast darkness, suggestion. They can dispel magics. They can make sounds be heard. from across the room, across a chamber. Magic missile is something that you're really familiar with, and then some that are just written in a script that you don't know. I don't think you speak Abyssal, right?
I do not.
Okay, cool. But that is what you managed to get from Driders. The book itself looks like it's been used a lot. So some of the information is maybe outdated. Some of it may not pertain to the particular kind of Drider you're dealing with. You know, it's all up in the air because this is a very, very old book, but you get a lot of information from that. That's a very nice roll.
Heck yeah. Is
And-
there anything on apologies for the wrestling behind
No,
me?
you're good, you're good.
Was there anything on Lolth's use of spies at all? And how they might operate or nah?
Yeah, there is. Near the center of the book, this has a lot of familial politics. It's stories that are told from one point of view about another member of the pantheon. So these are like a selection of short stories that kind of detail personalities and how these gods operate. There is one that you've never really seen before that is in this pantheon that they reference several times, and his name is, I gotta find it, give me a second. I know how to spell it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Welcome to D&D.
Yeah.
Where are you? No, that's not it. Wrong file. Okay,
His
cool.
name is
Um,
Slim Shady.
His name is Selvatarm.
Close enough.
What was that again?
Selvatarm.
Selvatarm.
Yes,
not a real person's name.
Selvetarm. And he is often defined as this hero of the pantheon. He is the Theseus. He is the one that goes and does all of the trials and tribulations and comes back with the head. You know, and he is referenced several times. He is a fan of tournaments and things that are a little bit more in your face aggressive, less so spies. There's not a whole lot of information in this particular book about how the spies of Lolth operate.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, they will just sit there and read and look for other books and things like that while the others
Cool.
do whatever they're doing. They are just absorbed in their book.
All right,
During this
I will
time-
offer this. I'll
Okay.
offer this to the rest of the party. Does anybody who is not currently engrossed in a book want to do something else?
I rolled a 9 on my investigation. Sorry, I died. I
Cool.
rolled really low
You're good.
to find that book.
During this time, I just want to, I'll just pull a random book off the shelf, just like whatever
Random
looks
book?
like,
Holy
whatever
shit,
looks
let me
like
get a
it's
table
got
out, bro.
a cool little spine. Maybe it's you got a sexy cover. Something that might be
Looking
eye
for some
catching.
smut, boy?
Hold on.
No, like interesting.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Not everyone's eating ham at 4 a.m. Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll
Tastes
a
good.
D. How many books are on here? Roll a D10.
/ roll d10. Oh, I rolled it in Twitch chat. That's why it didn't work.
Roll it on Twitch. What?
Roll it in Twitch chat.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's not
Okay.
it either. Hold on.
If you get the, oh my God, you did.
6.
Is this the second one you want to take? Yeah, the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Oh my God.
The first one is roll 1d tilde like weird apostrophe 0. It didn't actually work.
Okay, so I have a table here, and you pull off a random book. This one looks nondescript at all. It is a
Okay.
rather short book. Maybe has less than 100 pages.
Okay.
Bound in green, like almost wood and leather. You open it up, and on the inside in gold filigree, it says "Veil of Shadow: The Intricate Dance of Drow Politics."
Oh.
And
That's cool.
you continue to read and make an intelligence check,
Intelligence, just straight intelligence.
and just straight up intelligence. How
I'm
well do you read right now?
I'm really good at these.
You good at
Chat,
reading?
listen, I'm really great at these. +0.
A 10. Okay.
Nice.
You
Middling roll.
Okay. You learn some stuff. The Veil of Shadow examines like Drow's interactions with the Underdark from the surface, and over the past like 50 years, how surface dwellers have reacted to Drow politics, and not just politics, but some facets of religion. And you
Interesting.
get to one section in particular that says elite assassins known as the Hand of Lolth, and the rest of the page is gone.
Huh. I'm gonna turn to the rest of the party, probably especially Argentum, and say, do people usually ransack these places?
On occasion, why?
Seems to be. How many pages are missing? Just the one?
Oh, as a matter of fact, the entire chapter is gone. About 10 pages, it would seem, because it skips from like page 77 to 87. But yeah, about 10 pages of this are just gone. And it's like the top right corner of the page is still there, and that's where you got that information, but the rest of it is gone.
Yeah, it seems to be somebody ate 10 or so pages out of this book. Don't think it tastes particularly good, but I just hold it up in the air to show them hold hold it open so everyone can see like the number of pages that just ripped out of the book.
Yeah, it looks like there's a in your infinite wisdom, Argentum. This looks like a fairly substantial amount of text is gone. Comparatively, it's like 10% of the book.
Something someone didn't want others to know.
Oh yeah,
Only thing I could
just
think
read
of.
the title.
That's exactly why.
Some real information. I guess if there's any real information in this bookstore, probably you won't find it.
Well, I got a good amount, honestly, about Driders, so that could be very helpful. Honestly.
Zeph, what did you roll?
A 9.
A 9. Okay.
Yes,
9.
sir.
You get up
Failed louder.
to this third floor. You rummage around a little bit, and you open these books, and you feel around. You try and put them up to your face. None of these seem to work. You don't really know like how this even like you can't figure out how this is supposed to work. How any of these are supposed to be read by you, right? There's no raised bumps. There's no braille. There's no thing that's jumping out at you. There's nothing talking to you. You can't find it.
All right, I just storm back down. I'm on the same page as Wall. Books are useless, and I'm leaving.
Unintended. Wait, Zephyriel, wait, I have a question.
What?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to frustrate you. What's wrong?
This non-existent book that blind people can read, it doesn't exist. It's not up there.
You could have asked for my help.
What was your question?
Oh, goodness. Well, first off, I'm going to find you that book, but I was wondering,
Was it the Hand of Lolth? Was the
Hand of Lolth, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was curious, in your knowledge about Lolth and things like that, do you know anything about the Hand of Lolth? It says here that they're elite assassins, and all of the pages are miraculously missing.
Kind of a shame.
Yeah.
Hear me. Gods above. May I roll for it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. You don't have to roll. You know about what this is.
Oh, for real?
You know
Okay,
about
yeah.
these guys.
Well,
Yeah, this is something that you've been taught.
what could I share? What info could I share?
You know that there was an era of maybe 200, 300 years called the Silence of Lolth. And that was when people, right after the Great War, people realized that she's gone. And there's been no communication.
Clear Toms.
Yeah, exactly. All her prayers were unanswered, and There was no communication, even of within her most devout circles. It was impossible to get any response, and because of that, a group of, I guess, dissidents were so perplexed they needed to find a reason. Right? Why did this happen? Where is she? Why is she not responding? The rest of the pantheon is talking. So they went after, in her name, they went after as many people as they could to interrogate, to find out why, to kill, assassinate, murder, extort, do anything they could to find their goddess again, to make her whole, to bring her together. So I guess what you can offer up is the assassins aren't doing the will of Lolth. They're an inquisition.
So they're kind of like, they're coping. Like they can't accept that she's
Yeah,
gone.
they're coping super hard.
Okay. Got it.
They're high on copium.
They are just huffing that copium.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think of how to phrase it.
Sure.
They just call themselves the Hand of Lolth.
Yes.
Okay. But they're not appointed. And you okay? Sorry. One more question. They were around 200 years ago, or like they came about 200.
They came
after
about
that
200 years ago. Lolth had been silent since the end of the Great War, but it was only about 300 years ago that people started getting violent about it. You know what I mean?
Okay. My last question is, my church, have we accepted Lolth's defeat? Question mark. Does that make sense?
Yes. You have. You've
Okay.
all of what you are doing. You get magic from different means, and you're able to put together what you can of the arcane, but she is very, very hard, if not impossible, to get a hold of, even for the most devout of her following.
Okay. Put simply, the Hand of Lolth cannot accept that she was gone and defeated after the Great War, and so they took it upon themselves to sow chaos in search of a means to reconnect and hear the Elder Matron's voice once more. They're hard coping.
Hard coping, huh?
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can see that. Or,
So
lack thereof pages at least.
they became assassins because they couldn't reach their goddess.
I'd assume likely more than just assassins, but pretty much, yes. Bunch of crybabies.
Didn't sleep on rocks when they were young, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, they weren't. Their spines weren't hardened, I see.
They lacked. Yes, you are catching on now.
Well, in payment for this incredible knowledge, let's go find you that book, shall we? And then we can leave. I understand this is not exactly your scene, as they put it. I apologize for dragging you to yet another store. These places are, they remind me of home.
Okay, so you guys go up to the third floor?
Yep. jumped
I
into
will.
the
I
third
think
floor.
I'll wait on the second floor, just not believing that they will find anything.
Wall's gonna go. He's gonna leave the store. He's
Or
gonna
I'll follow. I think
That's
I'll follow
valid.
Wall. Yeah. If I
Okay,
can.
cool.
Are there any books on
So
religion?
where are you going, Wall?
He's just gonna go outside and just like lean against, I guess, next to the door and like survey the crowds and
Sure.
more or less keep watch again.
Okay, make another investigation check.
This time,
This
I'll
time for
roll
sure.
more than just a 1.
This time for sure.
This time, I mean it. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
15. Okay.
Very nice.
You got an angle against the wall underneath this canopy that supports the second floor. You're looking out into a more well lit area, so it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. There's not as much smoke because you're not in the middle of this pagoda. You see the names of several other shops. You can't quite read them, but one of them, based on this like the symbolism on it, one seems to be a fine dress shop. Another one seems to be a shop that sells elixirs and potions and imbibements and alcohols and drinks, all kinds of stuff. And then in front of you, you see a setup of like 4 or 5 different food carts that also have like menus and things and proprietors that are kind of like shouting and getting people to come and try their there's skewers and their grey tart pastries and their these wraps and this fun beverage that they're pouring out and fried foods and mushrooms and stuff like that. So very lively environment, but there seems to be a bunch of other stuff here. No one that looks very dangerous, but there are a few armed individuals and there are some guards meandering as well.
I mean, I guess. So wait, is Zephyr like going with the wall? Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zeph is going with the wall.
Yeah. I probably would just shout it at Argentum good luck and then followed Wald. I think, did Sunder come as well, or did I hear that
I
wrong?
think so.
Yeah. So it'd be 2 of us with Wall,
Sure. Okay.
I think.
Cool. And that's Wall kind of reports, I guess, what he sees.
Yeah. even though he can't read any of the signs, he does his best.
I should have known that finding information here was going to be in a library.
Yes, it is not our strong suit, I think.
Well,
The information's good information, no?
Oh yeah, wait, yeah, Sunder's here too then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I guess
was like, oh my
Argentum is
god.
the only one. Argentum and Phoenix are the only ones in the store still. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in
Fine.
here.
Okay. Cool. But let's follow you guys for a little bit. What do you would like to do here?
I do. There seems to be one of those food stall things, and they are selling skewers, and it does have an appetizing smell to it.
I could go for some skewering.
Yes. Let me go and see what kind of skewer they have, and I will purchase one for you as well.
Okay. You approach one of the carts, and there is a gray bearded dwarven man that looks way up at you, and he says, "What can I do for ya? Would you care to try a trickle ditch?"
What did you say? A trickle dodge?
A trickle ditch, my great friend.
What is this thing? I am not from here.
Oh, yes, a trickle ditch. A crisp, peppery, scented, dry legume, kind of grown in the water in the Underdark.
This is a local delicacy.
If you consider the Underdark local.
Can I roll to ascertain how delicious it could be?
Yeah, sure. Make a let's see. How could we? What was this? I guess perception check.
9.
9.
Yeah.
The
Well, the
nines.
trickle ditch. What he is kind of gesturing to. The trickle ditch looks like it's some sort of wrap. There's this crispy, thin, like breading that is wrapped with a mix of like vegetables. There's some like lightly seasoned meat, and it is drizzled in this like creamy sauce. That's pretty much what you get with a 9.
So is it like almost like a gyro? What is this?
Yeah, kind of like a hero. Yeah.
Well, all right. I will. How much is it for one of these trickle ditch?
1 silver per, and he starts putting it together before he even gets paid.
All right, then I will take 3 of them.
Okay. He puts together 3 of them quite deftly. He does this all the time. He stands up behind his cart. Looks like he's been elevated by some sort of like apple box that's back there. And he pulls from different sections of this like pre-sectioned out cart that has active fire underneath of it that is roaring, and he begins to step on a bellows as it starts to roar back up again. And he puts it together. This couple strips of this weird white meat. He puts some crushed up like long pepper on top of it. And then he winks at you and then gestures over to another vat, I guess, that is filled with this like brightly glowing mushrooms. And he kind of like raises his eyebrows.
Add them to 1 of them, just 1.
A man of discerning taste. And he takes it and like crushes it up in his hand, squeezes it out. As he's squeezing this mushroom cap, it almost squeals in his hand as this blue liquid is drizzled on top of it. And then next he garnishes off with the cream sauce. He rolls up 1 of them, 2 of them, and then a 3rd. And then he kind of he gestures at you with them. They're kind of put together in this small bouquet. That'll be 10 gold.
10. Wait a minute. You said that it was how much? 5 silver for each?
Aye, but the bioluminescent mushrooms are quite pricey.
I think that maybe you should give a small discount for the tourist that's around here, yes?
Make a persuasion check.
Can I do an intimidation check instead?
Sure, yeah, of course.
Angry face.
No.
Wait, no, you were a
Discount.
helmet.
Another 9.
Small discount or
With a
5-figure
9.
discount, or else.
With a 9, the dwarf's jovial expression falls, and he looks at you in the only eye that he can just barely see in your great helm, and he looks to his left and to his right, and those armed individuals that you saw walking around that didn't look too dangerous stop meandering, and they face towards you and put their hand on both of their weapons, one of which is a long sword and another on his back, which is a great sword. That'll be 10 gold, my friend.
Fine. But it better be delicious.
And Wall will give him 10 gold.
His face lights back up once more. And you know what? I'll give you shrooms on the others for free.
Oh, your generosity is unmatched.
He smiles, and you see one of his canines is a gold tooth. You have no idea. And he gives you those wraps. You have 3 trickle ditch now.
3 trickle ditch. Wow.
Well,
3
see,
of
look
them.
at that.
Trickle
Yeah,
ditch your money at his stall, I guess.
Trickle ditch.
Wall's gonna like just grab them and just stomp away, kind of annoyed, like.
5 silver.
Okay. And the dwarf gets down. He goes back to barking about his wares and his trickle ditch, and he goes back to work scamming people.
Then Wall will return to Zephyr and Sunder and hand each of them a trickle ditch and say,
I have procured the delicacy from the Underdark. It was not cheap.
Ooh, what exactly is that?
They said it was a trickle ditch or something. I do not know. He had
Sounds like a legal
the
thing.
salesman had a silly accent.
Silly how?
It was hard to make out.
Somewhere not here.
Sounds about right.
You know what? If you'd like, when this job is over, I can reimburse you. How much was it?
It was 10 gold for all 3.
There's a blacksmith nearby, I hear. Take me to him, please.
Okay, we will go.
and as they start making, I guess we'll head to the blacksmith next. But as
Okay.
we're doing that, Wall will start chewing into his trickle ditch.
Same here.
Yeah,
Trickle ditch.
Gonna do the same shit.
You and these as you were carrying these, the fun part about it is the bioluminescent mushroom juice or whatever it was that dwarf squeezed on your trickle ditch. Through the wrapping, you can see it like glow and emit a soft kind of diffused light. It's this very nice blue light. You, Zeph, you feel in your hand that it's warm to the touch. It's lengthy. It's kind of, you know, has the same dimensions as like a longer egg roll. And you guys bite into it, and there's a nice sweet, satisfying, creamy taste, a little bit spicy. It's got a very toothsome chew with the meat, and it's delicious. This is a very, very good street food that you guys have had. And as it goes down, you can even start to see the shroom glow brightly in your throat and your esophagus, and you feel it in your chest. And oh, it is so good, so warm, so inviting. It tastes very homey, very comfy. And you guys have advantage on perception checks for the rest of the day.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking
Let's
go.
go.
That's pretty sick, actually.
I'm just picturing that video of that British dude drinking. I don't know what he was drinking. He's I'll tell you what though, that is bloody nice.
That's bloody nice.
That's bloody lovely.
Delicious. That's bloody lovely.
Bloody lovely.
Yeah, it's quite good. And there's like this like earthen aftertaste, almost musky, but like pleasant through the nose. Very, very nice. And you guys can nibble on those for the remainder of your time here. As you guys go press through these crowds, Wall is able to get a better look as he's above everybody else. But you guys are just immersed in the sheer amount of people that are coming up and down these very wide stairs. And it's going to take about 2 or 3 minutes for you to get to the blacksmith. But we'll pivot over to our gentleman Phoenix while you guys are still looking around in the library. And you guys are looking for this book that allegedly Zeph can read?
Yes.
Okay.
Allegedly.
I'm not. I just pull a random scroll off the wall.
You pull a random scroll off the wall. Roll a d10 for me.
We love. I mean, it's working out for me so far, guys.
Yeah.
I love gotcha.
Good boy.
Even in D&D, I can't stop gotchaing. 10.
10.
10. Okay. 10. You
The
get a
big one.
scroll that looked at one point to have like a wax seal on it, but that's since been like cracked, dry, decayed. This blue wax that has a lion's head just emblazoned on it, but it's so old you can't quite tell if it's a lion or if it's like, you know, a cougar or it's some cat-like creature. You unfurl it, and at the top, in common, it says "Silken Secrets: the art to weaving from the Underdark."
I guess I'll open it. Let's see if there's anything cool in there.
You continue to read, and it is a fascinating read for the short amount that it is. It looks like it's some sort of missive or professional document that people submit to have published. It is detailing these very unique, niche, ancient traditions in the Underdark and techniques, and the cultural significance of silk production in Drow society, how it is made, the importance of it, and the reverence that they have for it. It's almost like reading about how the Japanese make charcoal or like a sword. It's a very fine, intricate, and holy, almost divine craft. Very interesting read.
Ooh, okay. I'll put it back where I found it.
Cool. There's only like 10 things up here, so you're gonna get to it eventually. But
exactly. Let's see. Yep. Go for it.
No, I was actually just clearing my throat. I wasn't trying to talk.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like gonna make it quick.
No, go for it.
Yeah, I'll turn to our gentleman and say, this library stuff is pretty fun, I'll just pull some random stuff off the wall and see what you get. It's kind of like a little lottery.
Argentum, could you make a perception check?
I absolutely can. Loot.
Roll into perception. Oops, that's the wrong one. Ignore that. Ignore that.
Okay,
That's the
okay.
wrong fucking. That's a
Persuasion.
persuasion. That's better.
Okay, cool. Excellent, excellent. Once everybody started to leave and you guys parted the ways, you kind of agreed, be like, okay, we're gonna go check this part of the place out. You guys, stay here and continue your search. As soon as the Wall, Sunder, and Zeph left, the young son had begun to follow you. Up the third flight of stairs, and he's kind of in the darkness, peering around the corner. You see him, but he doesn't think he is spotted. He's just kind of like looking. It's like he's seen some sort of divine entity. It's like he's seen, a god or some like major, entity in an arena or something like that. He's looking at you with reverence.
Argentum will just look over to them, just give him just like a little nod and a smile, and just go back to looking for this book.
Okay.
Just acknowledging their presence. But they'll think about it.
He,
Excuse me.
bashfully, he backs away.
Look, come here, I actually have a question for you.
And he puts his head around the corner and he looks around and he points to himself. Me? There's
Yeah,
nobody else up here.
No, come here, I have a question, since you work here.
He puts himself together and he kind of almost hops or skips over to you. Yes, Argentum, what can I do for you?
Your mother told me that there's a book that even the blind could read that's up here, and a companion of mine cannot see, so I thought I might get them a gift. Do you know where it might be?
They can't see.
No, but they are remarkable nonetheless.
Just like that character in chapter 5 of A Long Way from Longsaddle.
Yeah. Yes, very similar.
That's my
Holy
favourite. Okay,
shit.
so if we go back and listen to it, just like in the book, it goes over here, moving. He's like kind of mumbling to himself as he's fumbling with the 10 books that are up here, and it's which one can't read again? Oh, can't see. My fault.
Those are two
And,
different people, actually.
He he has these long bony blue fingers reach out to a book that he can't quite reach on the top shelf. He's like 5'3", and
Aw.
it's a blue one.
Argentum will go up beside them and pull it down, as they are a tall bean.
And he does a very deep, awkward bow. Thank you so much.
There's no need for that, I promise you. But this the one?
Yes, that's the one. That was something we got in recently. Again, with the shipment that was ransacked by those awful goblins living in the mountain. But, here, open it.
Certainly. And they'll crack it open.
You open it up, and you flip through the pages, and it's like a brand new book, but it's blank. Every single page has nothing on it.
A new animal.
That's fucked.
Can I ask, actually, I'm going to turn to the kid. I'm going to ask, actually, that's interesting. I have a question for you. How often do you get your shipments ransacked by goblins?
I was thinking
Well,
the same thing.
It's been happening a lot more lately, now that you mention it. Probably, well, every single one in the past month.
Huh.
Maybe they're looking for something.
Can goblins read?
Not to my knowledge. But the one that they call Fredfather, I'm sure he can. His name sounds like he can read.
What did you say his name
You say
was?
Fred Father?
Fredfather. Through his accent, you assume he means Threadfather?
Thread father must be
Who?
dripped out.
Yeah. God, he's so drippy, dude.
Well, regardless, you can't read that book, right?
It's blank.
There's
To
nothing in
me,
it.
at least.
Close your eyes.
All right, I'll do what you say. And they will shut their eyes.
And he closes his eyes too. And you look down, and through the blackness of your eyelids, you see some of the most well-preserved, well-manicured script in common
What?
you have ever seen in your entire life. It lights up this very bright blue against your eyes, and as you turn the page, so too does the text waft away and then begins to be written in front of you as you close your eyes. Now you can read it with me, yeah?
That's incredible.
Yeah. It's a very valuable book, as you can imagine.
My goodness. Do you know how much this might be?
I don't know. You might have to ask me mum.
Absolutely. Well, I will take that, as well as they will heft the big history book. I will take
Okay.
both. I'll take both if they're within my well, if I can afford them.
We'll find out, won't we?
I suppose
And
we
he's like-
will, love.
He starts to like proudly march over toward the stairs and like, gently step by step go down. They're quite steep for him. And he wants to just make sure that you're okay as you guys follow him down the stairs. And you eventually get to the first floor. And the mother is over there having a bit of an argument. Not a very loud one, but like, over stage whispers, between the who looks to be the official of the city, who's clad in these nice clothes, herself, and then what looks to be the child's father. From here, we're going to pivot back to the Wall and Company.
Wall and Co.
Wall and Co.
Wall and
Co.
Oh yeah.
You guys make it to the blacksmith, and there seems to be an amount of like caution that people are having as they're approaching this store, or this smithy. The sparks are flying. There is a human male who is hard at work, wiping his brow. At a certain point, he stops, starts to, he's a little out of breath. He takes a breather. He takes water, and then he wipes his brow again and goes back to work. His hair is like falling to either side of his face. It's kind of hard to make out what exactly he looks like through the smoke and the coals and the haze. But this guy's cooking.
Let him go.
Gotta get back to the correct sheet here. And it looks like he's making some sort of a longsword. But he is every now and again he's like trimming the edge with something, then he pounds out and flattens out a little bit, and he's making this sword that has teeth on it. Some very intricate blacksmith work, and those of you who are adept in martial weapons know that this is a technique that comes from the south of Lolthlorian, but it's a technique that is similar to what you guys saw of Veyraum's sword. It kind of looks like this sword that, like I had explained earlier, if it was to take a piece of you, it would probably take the whole thing. This sword has got some bite to it.
Is this like a place that you have to walk into, like behind a door, or is it open,
Well,
kind of open face?
It's
Or
open. It's
concept?
open. There is an interior where the majority of his wares are being hanged, and placed and even be like worked on. There's one off in the corner that looks almost like a statue that's covered in a large canvas. But inside looks like a run-of-the-mill blacksmith shop. Not anything too extravagant that you see.
Huh.
Like, Wall's like carefully appraising, like he's just like looking over all the weapons and trying to get a feel for like how well constructed they are.
Okay. Make an investigation check. Wall is the one that's just like sussing everything out today.
And he's got a 0, but I rolled an 18 anyway.
Hot damn.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Let's go.
Wall, you do notice something, and it's weird because it doesn't catch your eye immediately. You peruse everything that's on the rack. It looks like a normal longsword. You know, there's some daggers laying around, great swords, mauls. He's got arrows and crossbow bolts. He has a bit of a side area where he does a little bit of tinkering. Some meticulous, clockwork things. It looks like a hobby project. But you do a second take, and then what you thought was just, a patch of empty, looks like the light, when it hits it, there's a really brief outline, and then it fades back into shadow in the shape of a dagger in the corner.
Huh. Can I inspect the dagger?
Yeah, and you got an 18. So as you get closer, you move your head around and let different amounts of light hit this dagger. And from what you can surmise, this sword or, dagger in somebody else's hands, is unable to be seen in darkness.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Sneaky.
Interesting.
Does that pique your fancy, big guy? And he kind of, the smith wipes his brow, takes water, and out of breath walks over to you guys. Hey, what can I help you with?
What can we call you?
Name's Krillin. Nice to meet you. He takes out a hand. It's covered in, a leather glove. As you shake it, it gets warm to the touch. He's been hard at work all day.
That's nice. Zephyr, do you have any? What are you selling? I obviously can't really see much. Anything magical? Anything light but protective? Anything for someone who's trying to avoid being stabbed, or at least harder to be stabbed?
Well, I can make it harder for you, or I can make it easier for you guys to stab somebody. Looking at you, Sunder. In a minute, since your skulking ass has been around here. How you doing, you son of a bitch?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you? How have you been?
Fantastic. You still got your eye on that dagger?
Oh, you know it. I've been aiming to get it for a long time now. You should know this.
And Krillin goes over to the dagger and picks it up. And it looks like he's picking up air for a second. But as he pulls it over into the light, it's this gorgeous dagger. There's a red gem in the hilt right at the crossbar where the tang hits. And it doesn't have any sort of like teeth to it. It's elegant. It's like a needle. It's this black steel that becomes again nearly invisible in very low light. He twirls it around in his hand, does a few fun flips with it. Now, I'm not too good with this thing in practice, but I like to practice being good with it.
What is this weapon made out of? I've never seen something like it.
This is dark silver. The polar opposites to a metal, maybe, the true silver. I work with it on occasion. But anytime these two things hit, sparks fly. Let me tell you. But you guys wouldn't want this, would you? He throws it over into the shadows. Said you were looking for something to protect you, Zeph. Can I call you Zeph?
Can I? What, did you say Trillin or Krillin? Sorry.
Krillin. Kryllyn.
Oh, yeah. If I can call you Krill.
He looks over to Sunder and kind of rolls his eyes. Any friend of Sunder's a friend of mine. Sure. Krill.
Yes, I am trying to be harder to hit when I am not prepared for it. But I am not good if you can see my stature with things that are heavy. And then I crack my neck.
I don't think armor is what you need. Directly underneath of me, and he kind of looks at Sunder and smiles a little bit, and he says, "You're going to want to hit up the Gossamer Emporium. I'm sure that they'll be able to make you look nice."
You said underneath you is there a lower level?
Yeah. Yeah, we're on the second floor, as you can, well,
We are. Sorry.
Fear in your voice.
Wow. Wow.
yeah, we are about 30 feet above the Gossamer Emporium. They
Interesting.
focus mainly on lighter clothing or armor, if you are so inclined. You're trying not to get hit, right?
Mostly. At least be more aware, I guess, of attacks one cannot see, but not in the way that would normally see them. But you know, if someone was like invisible and then tried to attack you,
As you're talking, everybody else notices this, but you continue to talk. As you're talking, his vision kind of goes over the wall, and he's smiling and listening to you, and then it gets to his eyes lay on the wall's hip, and his smile fades. And he goes over to the wall and says, Zeph, but can you just give me 1 second?
it. Sure.
Okay. Excuse me, what was your name?
I am known as the Wall.
You're damn right. He looks you up and down. Son, where did you find that weapon?
It was a gift. Why do you ask?
A gift from who?
From somebody.
Can I see it?
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah, of course.
12.
12. He definitely looks like he is interested in the craftsmanship of the blade. That is what you get with a 12.
Okay.
All right, fine.
So Wall will very delicately, you know, remove the sheath from his belt and present the blade to him, still sheathed.
Okay. And he takes it further into his shop, to a place where you can see. It's not like he's trying to hide it or take it away from you.
Okay.
And he lays it down on his workbench, clears away some of the clockwork stuff that he had been working on, and looks at you. And expertly, as though he's done this hundreds and hundreds of times, he unsheathes it, and a very soft white glow begins to fill the back end of the shop. And just as quickly as he sheathed it, he puts it away and looks at you and says, "You need to tell me where you got this right now."
It was lying around in a place. I do not want to answer more questions like this.
Do you have some kind of problem?
No, I don't. But he looks out, and he looks out to the throng around his shop that are they're kind of enjoying this like display of craftsmanship, right? As that like it's some sort of circus attraction. It has since dispersed since he stopped working, but he looks out at the people that aren't moving around. There are 2 or 3 people that are staring at you guys, and one of them is in a purple robe, and the other is a guardsman who is pacing back and forth with his hand on his hip, watching you guys. I won't care, but they will. This is the sword of the Silver Sister. There is no doubt in my mind. And he draws a curtain that is divides the shop. He draws a curtain to kind of get the guard to look away, but he can't make sure that everybody is not paying attention. Watch this. He reaches into the shadows of the back of the shop and pulls out the dagger, as though he knew where it is the entire time. And he lays the dagger on the true silver and drags the black metal down the length of the blade. These purple and white flames come off of the blade. Yeah. And he, almost as though he didn't want this to happen. Yeah, this is it. You can't. You can't brandish this in public.
I have no intention to. But if I am forced to, then I cannot make that choice.
Would I know first why he said we wouldn't want the dagger he threw behind? And then
Oh, you wouldn't want it? Oh, that was playful shopkeep banter.
got it. Okay, okay.
Oh, you wouldn't
would know
want
that
this
much.
thing by it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I would know what he's talking about why Wald's sword should not be on display.
Make
would
a
I?
history check.
Okay.
This one you have to pray for.
Yes, DM. Oh,
Give me knowledge.
16.
Nice.
I'm rather good at
16?
these.
You know pretty much all there is to know about the history of Lolth and the relationships that the Pantheon has, but Sword of the Silver Sister doesn't really mean a whole lot to you. You know who the Silver Sister is. That is Lolth's sister, Elistray. But you're not exactly sure what significance this sword has. You can probably infer that since this place is full of OG Lolth fanatics and radicals,
Uh-huh.
they would know immediately if it was brandished or shown in any extensive way. And that probably wouldn't look too good. But you don't know anything about the deep lore that this sword may contain. Lolthers in chat? Any Lolthers in chat?
Lolthers in chat.
Quill, if this is going to cause us problems, do you perhaps have a cover for it?
Yeah, there's a sheath.
No,
That's
a cover for the sheath so that it's not clear. It's craftsmanship.
Frail, it is a regular sheath. I
Is
think
it?
if it stays sheathed like this, no one will know, right?
yeah. Yeah, it seems to have
But you did. Well, it was sheathed.
lost its sheath. That is strange. Huh. If you found that, has it been talking to you?
Oh God.
Yes, it has. How do you know this?
I've been doing this a long time. And there are a lot of legendary weapons with a lot of legendary wielders. But this one is... It's weird it showed up here. You see this? He looks around again. This weapon is divine. Blessed by the Bladed Lady, the dancer Elistray. I mean, it must mean the rule of blades is true.
Like,
Enemies. Go ahead.
Wall, like, as he mentions the rule of blades, Wall's, like, he opens his other eye. He's got both his eyes open.
Oh,
and
shit.
And he grabs onto the blacksmith, like, his shoulders, like, you know of it! You know of it!
Keep your voice down. Yes, I do. And this caused a commotion behind the curtain, and you notice that these two are a little bit more intrigued now. The robed acolyte and then the guardsman, who's now got a scowl on his face and is eyeing the activity back behind the curtain. Yes, and I'm sure you do too. I can tell you this right now, but everything else is going to have to be said after dark. Whenever you get the time, come back to me here. Whoever gets wounded by this blade, if the legends are true, find themselves overwhelmed by whatever they were remorseful for in that moment. They feel sorry for all the transgressions. They have a sudden clarity, a conscience. And that knowledge that clarity, that inherent good nature walking toward the light. That. And he points to your heart. It goes right into you, bud. I really shouldn't be telling you any of this. I barely know you, but this sword is only wielded by the purest of hearts. It wouldn't let anyone else touch it. Keep it to yourself. Keep it safe. And hopefully it'll help you wherever you guys are going. Sunder? You're lucky you're good with me. Any friend of Sunder's is a friend of mine.
Wall's like very delicately putting the sword back, like the sheath and the sword back on his belt.
Hey,
And he's
how much is
waiting
that?
for you to do that. Huh? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna cut in.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
How much? Also, how much is that dagger? Off topic.
He waits for the he looks at you. You can't see him looking at you, but he looks at you.
Just
He
break the
waits for the
tension.
wall to shield it, or to sheath it again, and then he pulls the curtains back. The Shadowfang dagger is 50 gold.
50 gold, sure.
It is a magic item.
Do you take deposits and then the rest pay half at first and then pay in full later?
Sorry, we don't work like that. Cold hard cash only.
What do you think I've been saving up for it? You mentioned it as soon as we got here.
Wait, how much do you have? Because maybe if we pull together. Wait, no, I need to check.
Well, yeah, let me look. And Sunder starts digging in whatever pouch he has, holding all of his stuff.
Okay.
While Sunder's doing that, like Wall will be like,
So you will be here after dark. Is that what you
I'm
said?
always here. Yep, I live just back there. I never leave this
Good.
place.
He's always here.
and Wall will give him a nod and then go back and then he'll be struck with a sudden moment of realization. Be like,
Ah! I opened my eye. Oh, I can't believe this.
Doesn't do that often, does he?
No. Now I have to start all over again. I was told by a bard that came to my tribe that if I kept one of my eyes closed for 3 months straight, I would be able to see in the dark perfectly. But now I have to start all over again.
The blacksmith looks like he's like, I don't want to tell him, but like, I kind of want him to just, in his purity, believe this. Yeah. Just keep it closed for 3 months, bud.
All right, here we go again.
and like the dual shimmers under his helmet become one again. He's closing the same eye that he had closed before.
The a drow woman with like glasses that are on chains around her neck, a very messy bun in her hair, and she looks a little disheveled, but a very professionally disheveled. Comes up to Krillin and says, "May has been waiting for her order for over a week. Are you going to finish the toothed blades?" And Krillin like wipes his neck from sweat. This is a rush job, and I'm not charging you guys any more than I would otherwise. I got a lot of customers, as you can clearly see, and some pretty important ones. He gestures to you guys. I'm gonna have to charge a surcharge, and I know you got it on you, and I know May has it, so cough it up. This disheveled woman, begrudgingly, as though he was going to ask this anyway, reaches into her purse. Fine, 300 gold advance, but you better have them tomorrow. I'll have them tonight, baby.
Does this name May ring a bell at all?
Oh yeah, you know May. May was one of the council members. May Suishi. She walked away a little bit prickly from you guys when you were on top of Far Tower. You haven't seen her since, and they're clearly demanding something for her.
Why such the rush for Council Member May?
This lady looks at you over her glasses, and
I
you
was just with
catch
him last night.
Krillin looking at you, and well, no, you don't. You don't. Everybody else catches Krillin looking at you, and he just kind of like grimaces and then just goes back to work. And this woman sits up straight with like a clipboard and a ream of paper next to her. That is for me to know, and you to never find out. Honored guest. And she turns heel and then walks away. You hear her heels clacking against the stone pavement on the second floor of the Welde Market District. And from here, we're gonna pivot back to Argentum and Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Time for you to buy this book.
You guys are on the ground floor of the Windwell, and the young boy has led you guys to the cashier where his mother is over in the corner speaking to a more professional-looking gentleman dressed in some finery. He's got all sorts of jewelry and he's piercings and necklaces, and it's just he clinks when he moves. And then an older man and her are having a bit of a tense conversation, and she catches her son's eye and gestures to this group of people to be like, I'll be right back. Did you find what you were looking for?
Yes, we did, and then some.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how much these two books might be together.
Her eyes widen. She looks at her son. Her son's eyes widen. But let me take a look at it.
Absolutely, and they will pass them over.
She opens the book. The first one that is blank. She blinks very slowly. She takes that and puts it down. She grabs the larger book, puts it open on the desk. Yes, of course. This one is a bit damaged, fairly old as well. A discount, and I'll throw in the book for your friend, gratis.
Are
Will
you
be
certain?
Oh, very much so for you, Argentum, of course. And anything for your friend to have a nice story to read. She almost smiles knowingly. 15 gold. That's all I ask. Not a copper more.
I have 12 on me. Phoenix, could you spot
Yeah.
me a few gold
Yeah,
pieces?
sure. Let me know. How many do you need, by the way?
3.
3, no problem. I will open my coin bag and pull out 3 gold. Hand it over and
Okay.
say, "Wonder what's in this book. That's so exciting."
Me too.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I normally don't prefer to do this. I don't like to throw clout around. It's not really my bag, as it were. But if you have any copies of my book, I have a few on hand, but if it might help boost sales for all of you.
Yes, of course it will. Anything for you. And the son runs back behind, and his mom looks at you and says, I would be... Here, take your gold. If you would just sign a few books for us, we could make this up in a heartbeat.
I can sign as many as you would like. Whatever you have on hand, I'm happy to sign, and I will personalize them. If your son has one that he favors, I think he preferred long wait and long saddle,
And
was it?
the son comes out with 2 stacks of books that are way too big for him, and he's like, "It's okay, I got it." Oh, and he trips, and they fall all over the place. There's about 15 books here, and as you look at them on the floor, you realize that they are 5 copies of each. What lies beneath the Laughing Flow Murder Upon Sword Mountains, and of course the son's favorite, A Long Way from Longsaddle.
Is it
I
the
will
one that I have
happily
as
sign
well?
all of these. Pardon
Sorry.
me?
Oh,
Is it the one that you gave me as well? By the way, out of
It
character.
is indeed.
Okay, cool.
the son like slowly starts to pick them up and put them on the counter that he can't quite reach. And after some doing, there you go. And this one, he reaches into his jacket and pulls out a book that looks very worn, weathered. It looks like it's been read dozens and dozens of times. And as he flips through it, chapter 5. Could you sign here?
Of course I can. Do you have a favorite color, my dear?
Do you have... At first, it didn't look like he was going to ask, but do you have red?
I do. Argentum will go into their bag and pull out an ink pot, and they will dip a quill into it, and when they start writing on the page, it'll come out red.
Cool.
Look, Mom, it's the same color as me hair. Waits for you to finish signing it, and he takes it and just starts blowing on it, letting it to dry, and he runs back behind the counter and waves it with his hand. And he puts it down on the ground and goes over and he hugs you.
Argentum will give them like the biggest hug back.
I'm
And-
glad you enjoy it.
You hear muffled, "This is the best day ever."
Are the other people, the people who were arguing, still there?
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, as you notice them again, the one dressed in finery smacks a book closed, kind of a bookend to this heartfelt conversation. You don't have the money. Next week, this space has got to go to someone else. I'm sorry, Winwell. It's not my call. And he gestures it underneath of his, kind of couches it under his arm, nods to the son, and then the older man whose head is in his hands. And, good day. He walks out. You hear a bell, and then shh. You guys are the only ones here now. Hopefully, we'll be able to sell these and maybe make something up.
How
Thank
much
you.
are they asking for?
A lot. And she just kind of looks into the middle distance as though it's more than they're going to be able to do in months.
These shipments.
Who's-
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Just the caravans being ransacked is really destroyed our business. I don't... And she looks at the older man, and he just kind of like folds his arms and nods. I don't mean to impose, but if you and the people you travel with, you look very strong. Yes, you look very strong. If you could even just investigate the goings on at Downwater, just off the main byway, we would be very appreciative. And if you could find our missing books, we may be able to keep this place open. But if you have more pressing matters, I very much understand. And we will just downsize to maybe something in the financial district. Maybe a government job, yeah? And the child kind of like kicks the ground. I like it here.
Well, we do have other matters going on, but a friend told me that the market district was perfect for finding information, and I found that with the help of your family. So, I think it is the least I can do, at least, to investigate.
Argentum will look at Phoenix with them.
What do you say? Up for a little detour if we can convince the others?
Yeah, shouldn't take too long if it's just goblins. Got any more info about that, actually? Seems to be a recent occurrence, right?
Yes, over the past couple of months, every shipment we've been getting in has been not just ransacked, but obliterated. And people have been murdered over these books. They're just books. I can't
Nothing
imagine who,
crazy written inside them, you know?
not
Maybe
to my
some
knowledge.
high. Oh. And
Do
do you
you
get these? Sorry. Do you get these shipments? Like bundled together, or do you like with other people's shipments, or is it you generally just your fare?
Well, it's a combination of things, really. They all come in from the west, from beyond the walls. We're importing books from all over Welde. We aim to be the premier place to find any book you're looking for in this world. But they come in with other things that are imported: weapons,
I see.
charms, trinkets, things from beyond the plains, even. But
ah,
gods, they're just books.
that actually gives me an idea.
No, I was gonna say. Sounds like it might not be your doing then, perhaps.
No, I don't think it is the books they are looking for. So, and that actually ties it to something I need to speak to Zephyriel about. So,
It
Yes,
might
we can
end up fruitful
absolutely.
for us too.
We can absolutely look into it. Not a problem.
And I mean, it's not. She's not hiding it anymore. She is welling with tears. If there is anything you or your group needs while you are here, safe passage, the harbor, a hot meal, the moon shadows have you. Don't we, boys?
Moon shadows.
And the older man takes a puff on a pipe and nods to you. He seems to be poring over some ledgers. And the young boy reaches behind the counter and pulls out a very small wooden sword. I'll help you too. Tybalt is on the case.
Well, I think a strong warrior like yourself should continue strengthening his mind, and eventually, maybe you can get to my level, and maybe you will be smiled upon of the gods of literature. And so you can protect your family with your full strength, yeah?
You hear clawing at the back of your corneas once more. You know, maybe you should write about him too.
I think I can weave a story with the two of you together.
Every hero needs a sidekick.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And your vision fades back, and you guys are still here. Tybalt is actually looks to be in better spirits. The mother is wiping moisture from her eyes. She is still misting a little bit. And would you like a bag? Any sort of thing to carry your books in? That one was awfully heavy.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I'll finish signing all of these for you, and I hope they can at least make you some coin in the meantime. If there's
course.
anything else outside of looking for the caravan, please do let me know. Places like this, they remind me of home a lot, and they're my favorite place to spend my time. And I'd hate to see a wonderful place like this close down. So I'm happy to help where I can.
You are an angel. Tybalt, make some room for Argentum's signed books, please. Yes, of course. And Tybalt goes over to the center table and starts clearing some things. It's getting some tiny little plinths and standees and things together for your exposition. And from there, we will pivot back to the Walls group. Wall,
Og.
Zeph, Sunder. You guys are back.
just like probably snarl at the lady that walked away and
She flips her hair at you as she clacks her heels down the cobbled second floor street, as it were.
Perhaps it would be prudent to invest in maybe some cloaks or something to help hide some of the things that we have been charged with.
That's probably a good idea. He looks back at the guard and the acolyte. I gotta get back to work, guys. I'm sorry, Sunder. I'd give you more time, but sundown. Come back after nightfall. We'll talk.
Oh, perfectly fine, my friend. We'll be back later.
I shouldn't have to hide.
Yes, but I think it would be the prudent choice.
Better to be safe than out in the open and risking your life. We don't want another incident.
This is true. Maybe we could go down to that the fashion place that you talked before. I forgot the name already.
Yeah, Sunder, take him downstairs. Talk to Ryla for us, okay?
I
Good
got
deal.
you.
Tell him I sent you.
I got you. Right, shall we?
Sure.
All right. So you guys make your way through the small-ish negative space of people that we've given the birth to the actual like implements and the instruments of creation here, and you meld back into the group. Up here, there does appear to be a few people of taller races. There's some Ganassi that are walking around. There's a few like half ogre and larger races that you can kind of meld in with Wall. And everybody roll a stealth check with advantage.
Yeah.
With advantage, you say?
Yeah, because there are some taller races here, and Wall wouldn't. That disadvantage is negligible with so many people around. It's so loud.
10.
10,
Not terrible.
16. That's good.
Were you
Wait.
rolling with advantage, you said?
Yeah, Grizz, you roll with advantage. Oh, wait, that's a religion. Wait, hold on, wait.
Yeah, I
No,
think that was the
from
old.
previous roll.
Oh, that was old. Sorry, I'm not keeping
That was
up.
previous.
Yeah, sorry, hold on.
Just gotta turn it on, flip the switch.
7.
7.
7 on both. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
I guess it'll be 7.
I guess so.
16.
Okay. As you know, Zeph, you were kind of instructed to be like, all right, just blend in, right? And you managed to do so fairly effectively. You're not quite as tall as the Wall. You don't have a tail swinging around like Sunder does, so it's a little bit easier for you to just kind of hands in pockets and keep your head down, keep your mouth shut, and stay hidden. The
Probably
rest of
pouting.
you, kicking the rocks. But the Wall, as tall as you are, you were the tallest thing that went from a place with 2 people to, several dozen. And not only that, but the guards and the acolyte did see you and were locked on you guys as you were having that conversation behind the curtain. So, about 30 feet behind you, wherever you two go, you will have one of those robed acolytes following you and watching what you do.
Do we know that we're being followed, or?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's not hard.
They're not hiding, huh?
It's also kind of creepy because you look back and they don't seem to move, right? You look back and almost like, Weeping Angels-esque, they just appear in a different spot. It's like, where's Waldo? Every time you look back, you're just like, oh my God, there it is. Oh God, okay, all right. But as you guys descend the stairs into the first floor, you go past a few food carts with different fun spices. There's a creature with like 4 or 5 different arms that are like shaking the spices in different places on different skewers and different fire pits. You guys kind of get behind them, and you do see in front of you this wonderful, wonderful golden painted building that says on the front of it in gold leaf, very hard to read, gold on gold, but it seems just that extravagant, right? The Gossamer Emporium. There are a couple people on the inside. It does look like there is clothes that have been draped on some models that are like enchanted to kind of move in certain ways, pose in different directions in the windows. And you open the door, and there is a little bell that kind of chimes as you guys walk in. Well, you got to duck your head a little bit. And you guys are inside of the Gossamer Emporium. This place is full of all sorts of extravagant, exotic silks and beads and jewelry and shoes and boots and leathers and riding equipment. There's also like tack for horses here as well. There's all manner of finery. There's outfittings for regalia and what is the word, livery, for like tournament horses and things like that as well. Not necessarily enough space to show it in its full majesty, but it's kind of held up and hung up so that you can like leaf through different pictures and images and things like that. But there's a couple people in here. It does look like there's somebody who is the owner in the back. And Sunder, you do recognize this is Ryla. Ryla is the proprietor of the Gossamer Emporium. You don't know them too well. You've been introduced to them once or twice, and they might remember you.
I think I'll lead and walk up to the counter. You said there was a bell, right?
Yeah, the bell that when you open the door, it indicated that you came in. Yeah, it just kind of chimed and jingled a little bit.
Ding ding.
Yeah, like that.
All right, so we'll walk up to the counter, and Sunder will call out to Ryla in the background. Ryla, we were.
Is that Sunder I hear?
It is indeed.
Too delicious. Welcome back, my handsome friend. How are you?
I'm doing quite well.
Oh, look at the size of this one. Yes, hello.
Oh.
And you guys get a look at Ryla, and it is this portly woman, a portly human woman. Looks to enjoy food and wine, almost Dionysian in exuberance and how they hold themselves. They have piercing on their nose and on their ear, on their eyebrow, wonderful, glorious, artificially dyed purple hair that kind of drapes down over her breasts, down to her waist, almost down to her knees. She kind of brushes it aside and makes room for her hands as she gesticulates very broadly and theatrically.
What brings you all here? It has been weeks since I've seen you, Sunder.
Well, we decided to pay a visit as Krillin was the one who sent us down here.
Oh, I do love that man.
He speaks very highly of you. But he sent us down here to procure some clothing, more on the discreet side.
Oh, discreet as though you're trying to hide your skin, or discreet as though I don't want this person looking at me? The second one, I think, is best. Yes, of course. Let's see.
And what
Well,
might
we
you
have to be-
have in terms of protection, if
Protection.
anything, as well?
Oh, let's see. Less so protection, and more so, you can't see me. Does that make sense?
I already can't see you.
Oh, and I thought that blindfold was just a fashion choice.
Does it look that nice? I started like touching it a little bit, feel the lace.
Yes, it does. And your cravat is extravagant. I do think you look great in blacks.
Well, thank you. I know, I'm sure. And I'm sure you look fantastic. Probably.
Don't I? Sunder, you can tell him. I will go and fetch you all something that will work with your friend's physique as well. Yes? Be back in a jiffy. Oh, yes, I'll take care of you too, Lester. Just calm down. And she goes back behind the curtain into the back rooms.
She's
There does seem to
marvelous.
be
there does seem to be a person that she was helping, but just completely stopped to come and say hi to you, Sunder. You guys have about like a minute or two until she comes back. What would you like to do?
Wall's admiring all the livery, like all the horse stuff, with
Yeah.
very keen interest. He's just like, he's like, whoa, this, all right, okay.
Yeah, there are a few actual crests that you may recognize. They are tournament crests. So these are crests of like famous families. These are crests of heroes, almost like folk hero crests. That of like tournament winners that have won streaks, and there's images of paintings of these wonderful combatants. It seems as though Ryla is the premier livery stitcher of Ivbranca, and maybe Lolthlorian. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's silken, all sorts of wonderful material you've never seen before. This like underdark spider silk. There's some small descriptions of what exactly it's made of, but you can't read. So it's just it's very very beautiful script. Anybody else? What else do you guys like to look around? There's a couple of people in here. Let me get
be
this.
right back. I gotta go fetch food from my front door.
Okay. Give me just a second. I have to pull up this document.
This
for this
huge
place.
document.
Massive document.
This guy got lore upon lore on stacks. That's crazy.
He's prepared. He's prepared.
We're eating.
We are well fed today.
Fed.
All right. You feel a gust of air as though the entire inside of the shop was disturbed as Ryla pulls the curtain dramatically. I have found it. Took me quite some time to find something that would fit. And Ryla looks at the wall's butt. You. But I think we have managed to find something that will conceal you quite well.
I'm so sad he wasn't here to hear that.
You have. Oh, we'll wait for Ben to get back.
Oh my
He missed
god.
it.
No.
Wait, what happened? I'm back.
No!
Ryla was looking at your butt.
Your thick ass cheeks.
It was funny.
So, these, as you guys were looking around, and like taking in all of the different, really grandiose outfits, two thoughts hit your mind. One, how am I gonna hide in anything this extravagant? And two, they all seem to be inspired by like nature or a person, or there's like one singular source of inspiration for every outfit that's currently on a rack. But these, Ryla begins to say, these, well, let's just say I've been waiting for the right person to come along and slip right in. Ryla brandishes and presents to all of you the Midnight Mirage Ensemble. And it's an outfit that looks like it's made of sheer blue and black silks. And as she moves this on her hand, it starts to like blend into the shadowy bits of the shop itself. Wherever the light seems to vanish, so too does the outfit. And her hand beneath it. The outside is a little bit, gaudy. It's a little shimmery, but in a way that deflects the light rather than like reflects it back at somebody. There's crystals, a little like mesmerizing glimmer of light, and beneath the cloak there is a full length, several other like layers to it. So it's layered, but in a way that's nice and flowy and gives you lots of movement. And it also has at the top a small half mask made of a darker material that covers the upper half of your face. So anything above your nose would be completely covered and obscured. And it's, again, designed to reflect the light so that your eyes aren't what people are looking at, right? But yeah, that's the first outfit. And she kind of like goes over to Zeph and moves it around a little bit and is like, grabs your hand and kind of lets you touch the fabric and feel how luxurious this is against your skin. Those tattoos.
And what did you say it was designed to do?
It lets you blend into the darkness a bit more elegantly than crouching in the corner like a goblin.
Possibly quite perfect for someone like me.
I would say so.
And that was like the most genuine you've heard her, rather than like this over-the-top theatricality. She's taking a lot of pride in her work. She really does enjoy this. She gets a lot of pleasure out of helping people become the best them. You know what I mean? Look the best they can.
The second outfit is inspired by the weeping willow, the whispering willow.
Behold. And she presents it over her arm and kind of pulls it back a little bit. And the outfit is basically a long flowing robe made of layers of softer, like felt fabric that kind of looks like billowing or cascading willow leaves. Very nice, very long leaves. And it's designed with an oversized hood. So the hood comes down and like comes down to about where your nose is. So you can see the mouth, but the hood is like enveloping the entire upper part of the head. And it's this like dark green fabric, contrasting like lighter green of the leaves. This one seems to not make any noise as it's being moved around. As she's like, showing you all of the bells and whistles and everything like that, it is absorbing all of the sound, and it's you feel like there's something enchanted about this, but you can't quite put your finger on it. The hood, when it comes down over the face, the actual like mouth part, there is a veil of like silken leaves, and the point of this one is to sound less obtrusive, to blend in aurally with everything in the background.
Just as the leaves blend in with the sounds and roars of nature, you too will blend in with everything around you.
And let me get a drink. Actually, that was a lot of talking.
It was.
Ugh. Okay. And the third one, she brings this out and says,
This outfit is regal. It is fine. It is
deep in velvet. It looks like an overcoat with like long coattails. This one is a bit more like burnt orange colored. Has a detachable hood that is lined in softer fabric that casts a shadow on your face when you put it up. It makes it obscures all of your features as you put it up. I'm losing my voice. Sorry. Beneath the coat is a set of like looser draped garments. It is complete coverage, toe to tip, and you don't see a whole lot of skin with this. It looks like it covers everything.
the main part of this. The reason you wouldn't be seen is you cannot make out any distinct features.
So as you put it on, no one will be able to tell anything distinct about you. You're covered from toe to tip. The only thing I guess would be the size of somebody. It does look like it's a statement, This looks like it's there, it's in front of you, but it's a functional like disguise. It's perfect for people who want to move in high society unnoticed.
These are the offerings I have for you, and nothing more. I would cut you a deal, Sunder, but you know business.
I didn't expect you to. Trust me, business is business, and, well, you work very hard.
I do worry and you have been so refreshingly kind and respectful. So I do worry that your exquisite craftsmanship is above our pay grade.
Hmm.
What are the prices of these?
Well, you
As
know what they say.
flawless
If you
as
have
they
to ask, you probably can't afford it. You know, you, you look strong. A lot of you, especially you, Sander. If you... My supplies have been chokeholded by these goblin attacks on the main road. Many of us have. If you manage to procure some dried silk for me in one way or another, I may be able to...
He looks and makes sure, she looks and makes sure that nobody else is looking.
float these by.
Perhaps we could maybe give it a try, but the craftsmanship of all this is exceptional. But I do
Yes,
not,
it is.
I do not know. There is something. It feels wrong to use these to skulk around and be disguised and all that. I had only come in here to find a simple cape or something to cover up my sword side. But
Oh, a cape. Yes.
And she like puts down the garments in front of Zeph and Sunder.
A cape, yes.
She starts to pace.
Yes, it would only require one smaller, no, larger piece of... What color?
maybe
This one, and he points to his navy blue, like the navy blue silk that he's wearing.
I'm lousy with blue silk. Of course. She almost starts to cry as she, like, theatrically
dear.
again goes back behind and pokes her head back one more time, jingling all of the things that are dangling from her face.
Give me 5 minutes, you big, beautiful man.
And Wall's gonna turn to the others and be like,
I feel like I have said something incorrect.
I don't
No,
believe
you're-
you have. You seemed excited.
I suppose we will wait for 5 minutes then.
And you hear shears and pinking scissors and needles and thread being pulled on canvas and leathers and a shriek from somebody you don't know. And you hear, "Get out of my way!" And like there's all kinds of stuff, all manner of activity going on back there that is distracting not just you guys, but like 3 or 4 of the other patrons that are like, what's going on back there? 5 minutes do
died back
pass. And I am making this up.
good,
Respect.
excellent.
This is the best part of
Just a
D&D,
second.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you limit test in a video game and you're like, you know, I wonder if I could break the game.
I want to see how far I
Yeah.
can go.
Let's see. I gotta find a picture quick.
You're a cat. Yeah. While she was doing that, we hear the classic window breaking and cat screeching.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was
Meow.
Yeah, you hear a chainsaw. Yeah, there's like some guns firing in the back.
And then the super hot from Ed.
Yes, you get a La Cucaracha horn. And she comes out and has her hands behind her back.
What was your name?
I am known as the Wall.
Of course you are. And she takes 1 or 2 steps in front of you and says,
Wall, I present to you the Cape of Striking.
and she gives you this like large, fully like formed. It's crazy that she was able to make this in 5 minutes, but it's a bold statement. It's got vibrant dark blue and like hints of orange leather in there. The main like body of the cape is this like aquamarine sapphire blue fabric that is just like, it's dulled, right? So it's not like bright and vibrant in front of you. It's just like No, it's there. It's just a suggestion of this color. It's got this midnight sky blue feeling, and when she pulls it back, you do see the vivid orange. This is actually bright and striking. This vivid orange lining, right? And she comes up to you and gestures, "May I?"
Yes, of course.
She reaches around and reaches above her to clasp this cape around your neck. It's got a practical, like, detachable hood that comes down behind you. Itself is also lined in this burnt orange trim. There is a warmth to it. There is protection to it, and it feels enshrouding. It feels large, even for you. There's an ornate clasp with a boar symbol. It's right around your neck, around your gorget area, and there's a functionality to this. You feel it, like as though it is made for the sword at your hip. It is comfortable. It is warm. It hides a portion of your arm. Even your enemies wouldn't know exactly what you're doing or what you're reaching for underneath of there. It's not only a gorgeous addition to your current wardrobe, but it's practical and stealthy. And when she backs away and kind of like brushes it off and straightens it out on your back, you feel sneaky. You feel like you could sneak up on somebody for like one of the first times in your life.
Wall's like looking at it and like touching the fabric and like giving it a little sway to see, you know, just how functional it is. And he says,
Ah, this garment, it is beautiful. It is so lovingly crafted, but I do not know if I will be able to afford something like this. And even if I did, I would be going into battle with it and getting it all stained with probably other people's blood and so on.
And she looks at you and like locks your eyes, and with like a very intense glare, she says,
Yes. Yes, you will. But behold,
and she spins you around, and you feel the cloak begin to vibrate a little bit, and it looks ironed and primped and clean as the day it was made, which is today. But it's like straight and cascades around your body, as though there were no wrinkles at all.
this cape, my dear friend, cleans itself.
Yes, I know, I'm amazing. From adventurous outings to more formal gatherings, you can make a stylish impression anywhere you go, my big friend.
and Wall's giving it some heavy consideration.
I can give you everything I have for it, but it is still a very paltry sum.
She looks at Sunder and Zeph.
If you take these and bring back dried as silk to me within a week, you can keep it free of charge.
And like
Right.
Wall's looking at the other two with like a child that just brought home a puppy and he really wants to keep it.
Riley, you would allow me to walk out in this fine silk, so long as we promise to rid these goblins and bring back dried silk, yes?
Correct.
I'll do you one better. For your kindness and these gifts, we will bring back the dried silk, and if we don't, I'd put my life on it.
Well, I would never ask you to do that, but the respect is the dedication, the joie de vivre. Yes, I accept.
And she takes your hand and then kisses the back part of your palm deeply.
Sunder, your friends are incredible. And of course, this was a recommendation not just from you, but Krillin up above. Tell him to keep it down, please. My cats try to sleep during the day.
I'll be sure to let him know.
Aye, my good friend.
And over in the corner, you hear, "Hey, are you giving away free shit?"
No, of course not. These are honored guests. Yes, these are the honored guests. They have the run of the roost.
She winks at you, Wall and Sunder.
We'll just be like, we are nobody important.
You will be soon. I can tell, especially with that cape wandering around. All right, yeah.
And she grabs these clothing, the clothing that she's made. Which of the three originally presented would you guys like to take with you, Sunder and Zeph?
What do you feel like, Grizz? What you thinking?
Oh yeah, probably the first one, I think.
Okay,
Hmm.
so the Midnight Mirage, you get this almost what looks like a starry sky outfit that blends in pretty well with your original like garb that you've had on. It falls on you almost like snow or a sheet of rain. It's very light and very fashionable. Thunder, yours is the Whispering Willow attire. It falls on you almost like scales. This willow leaf pattern on your back cascades down across your tail, and you don't feel it on you, but you certainly see it move with you in your hands, almost as though it is when you lift your hand, you are summoning cloth behind it magically. You guys look damn good, and all of you have a +1 to stealth checks.
Yes.
Get it, y'all.
What's
Hell yeah,
what's
we
like the
ripped out.
official name of this this cape?
We could call it the. I mean, I just made it up. The Cape of Orange and I don't know. You can call it whatever you want to.
The the cape of the
Coral.
setting sun.
There you go. I like that. Cape of the Setting Sun. That's nice. Okay, cool. All right. And as she is being brought to other customers, she is slowly being distracted, and she's saying like she has said 1,000 half goodbyes at this point, and she intends to be distracted even more. And she looks at you guys as though she is sorry, but
Business.
Wall will give her like basically bow down, like give a deep bow, like almost falling to one knee, and just like say,
We are greatly indebted to you. We will make sure that your quest is completed to satisfaction.
Just bring back my silks. Yes, 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 of course, Lester.
and yeah, Wall will turn to the others and he'll look at his cape once again, and then he'll like look down at the sword, and he'll say,
These may sound a little childish, but I feel like a hero from one of the stories I heard as a child.
oh,
I'm sure you look like one too. She was quite lovely.
Urayla? Oh, they've always been lovely. A little extravagant, but overall very kind soul.
We must make sure we do not fail them. And under no circumstances.
Oh, we will not.
I gave her my word, and I'll die before I break it. You know how it is. Let's meet back up or down. Where was it again? The second floor? Let's go there. Where are we?
Where are we?
yeah.
Lead the way. We have a quest.
easily enough, you guys get outside. The fresh air and incense and spiced meats and all manner of worldly sense sights and stuff hits you, and you see in the back corner the bookstore as the dust and smoke of the morning and early afternoon starts to settle. you see Argentum and Phoenix begin to leave the bookstore as well, and you guys meet back up in the center of the pagoda. What do you guys do?
So, any luck on that book?
Yes, actually.
Argentum will look very smug, and they will pull the book out of their bag and hand it to Zeph.
Yeah, we seem to have gotten what we needed, and then some.
And then some, but a promise is a promise.
And then some. What is the extra?
Well, we found out from the owners that there have been goblin attacks on the caravans that have been carrying their books. Specifically,
Yeah, might be something interesting in the cargo, actually.
yes, there's the shipments are importing more than just their books, and it looks as if someone's looking for something, and makes me think of our new friend from the ceremony.
Might
They
have to do with
requested that
the
we...
yeah, the
Go
missing
ahead.
pages in the other book as well.
Yes. They asked us to investigate the goings-on in Downwater. And that actually, my contact from the other night, she mentioned that...
The ham lady.
Eater.
Can
The
we
ham
not-
lady.
Damn, lady.
How? You can't be so...
How was that
So
ham, by the
what?
way?
Oh my god.
That was
They are
delicious
like
to me.
bright pink.
Argentum can't catch a break yet.
I just... Yes,
I didn't think
she
humans
was
could turn
the...
that color.
She was the owner of the inn, and we hit it off. And she gave me some valuable information about the goings on.
Great. Sounds good.
Yeah,
What?
it was...
You weren't eating ham?
Wow.
The story keeps changing, but apparently this time they were hitting it.
Oh my god.
Sounds to me that they were hitting
So-
something.
No,
So there
stop.
was-
I don't want to know anymore.
I
there
do
was
not
a-
understand what
What
they
is
are
it?
talking
You're not
about.
able to see, we might as well give you a description.
What this it is, we never know.
Oh my
Sunder, can you roll a perception check with advantage because you had a trickle
trickle
fart
dick.
or whatever, a trickle dick,
Oh, yeah. That's you.
Trickle dick.
Right? Yeah.
trickle ditch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you had. Yeah,
So what am I rolling?
a perception with advantage.
Perception with advantage. I got you.
Ooh.
11. Okay.
11.
In the corner, perched on one of the mushrooms, looking around, like very quickly, very like precise and sudden movements. You see Lester, and
Ooh.
it's kind of hard to miss this large blood hawk that's just like not completely, even with all the diverse flora and fauna around. This is just out of place. He's perched on one of the mushrooms. And you know that to be Kelly is somewhere. He's looking for something. These are his eyes and ears in the field.
Mm-hmm. Am I able to gesture towards?
Yeah, you can
the
gesture
bird?
towards him. If you make
Okay.
eye contact with him, sure. Do you like? Are you beckoning? What are you doing?
Beckoning.
Okay, cool. You beckon towards Lester, and of course, like scree, he like flies towards you in one swoop and perches on your shoulder and looks toward the exit of the market, just kind of like twisting his head, flapping his wings a little bit, rustling everything up. He doesn't say anything, but you know this to be, a summons, as it were.
Okay. Well, seems that we are being summoned. Seems that Kelly is around. And we did say that we were going to meet up for him. So, I feel like we should
Oh, wait, quick. Well, first, quick question. You said that you think that the Hand of Loth is connected to the
Yes.
thingy.
Wrist of Lolth, which is connected to the arm of Lolth.
To the shoulders.
Yes. Um,
Could be. Hard to
My-
say.
When
companion last
did you
night
get a
said
date
there
or a
was-
day for the next shipment?
No, but it's been happening,
Very frequently. Pretty much every shipment.
frequently. Every shipment, the young boy who was helping his family out mentioned a name, the Threadfather. So,
Stupid name for a person.
my goodness.
Well,
Sorry.
we just met and made a promise to the Thread Mother down
Oh.
below. And they are also affected by these goblins.
I'll say you all look very fashionable.
I agree. I was
I
wondering.
know.
Nah, it is a simple cape. It is nothing.
Thunder, do you know
Um,
where Lake Moraine is, Sunder?
Lake Marine.
That's where my friend from last night said there were some stirrings, and I'm not really familiar with the area, so I'm assuming.
Do I
it's
know? Do I
Yeah,
know this?
probably the same
Sunder, you
area.
would. This is Lake Moraine. You would know this specifically because this is where the Drow military train. This is like the destination training for anybody who has martial combat skills. This is
Mhm.
like, them going to train with ascetic monks on a mountain for a year. You know what I mean? This is like intense, become a marine kind of thing. And it is a lake that is on the northern slope of the spine of Lolth, and it is part of the actual like military training is getting there in the first place.
Mhm.
It is really arduous. It is a fairly scenic place, as this mountain lake, but it's a bitch to get to. That's about all you would know, but that's what you gleaned from like schmoozing guards and frequenting some parties you shouldn't be at, that kind of thing.
Hmm. Well, Lake Marine is quite close to the spine of Lolth. It, it's a military training ground, essentially. So if you're going there for training, it's not hard. It's not easy to get to. It's the best thing I can see. It's not easy.
Understood.
And your contact wants to go there? Or
Oh.
wants us to go there?
They just mentioned that there were some stirrings up that way. So
I see.
I'm just sort of trying to get my bearings on what's going on where.
Makes sense to me.
But I think these caravans should take precedence, especially if they're looking for things. But we can discuss all this later. I'm sure Kelly's waiting for us.
That's right, yeah. And also your other contact too. The one that you wanted to meet up with?
Mm?
Not the ham lady. The
Oh my!
other one.
Can we? Oh my goodness! This isn't going to end, is it?
No, I'm curious, and I kind of want to meet this ham lady.
Oh my god!
Ham lady. What the
Ham lady.
ham lady?
I also would like to meet this proprietor of pork.
Proprietor of pork.
Oh, they porked.
The
Can we
eater
just
of offs, as they will.
Go and see Kelly.
This sorceress of swine.
Oh my god!
Proprietor of pork, the sorcerer of swine.
I hate
The
all
hawker of
you in
ham.
this moment.
Walk and talk. Yes, we have places to be.
Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, you guys you make your way through the crowds and the mist and smoke and sparks and all kinds of crazy stuff that's happening in the market, and you push outside and everything, at least aurally, starts to calm down a little bit. There's still the really low rumble, the dull din of throngs of people moving in these 40, 50 foot wide streets back and forth, carts and carriages and all sorts of manner of vehicles as you get closer to the center of town.
Are we still being
you-
followed?
Make a perception check with advantage because you guys had trickle ditch.
Mushrooms.
yeah.
Still dead.
I'm the
It always pays to have mushrooms.
Oh, for the sake of fuck.
It's actually quite easy to see that you are still being followed. Yes, and it's still the same, but this time every now and again they'll be on the rooftop. They'll be on a cart that's passing by you. You think you have seen them once and then you turn around and they're gone, but somebody is following you. You just don't know where the fuck they're going to be.
This is problem. We should not go back to Kelly while we still have this tail on us.
They're still here. Told you we're always being watched.
Phoenix's face like drops. When he hears it, he's gonna say, "Someone's tailing you."
Yes, we've been ever since we left the book place. I think we have been followed
You
by
couldn't have
one of
told
those
me.
robed individuals again.
I'm gonna clutch the dagger that poisoned me. In preparation.
Okay, cool.
How can we lose them? Can we lose them?
Hard.
You
to
guys can try
say.
and lose them. You got to figure out how you're going to do that, though.
Yeah, it is hard to say.
Santa, do you know any back alleys or anything?
Well, considering the area, I mean, crowds are quite big, so I know there are quite a few areas we can go to. I doubt they'd follow.
Make a history check, Sunder.
Perfect.
Use that remembering.
Yeah, if we make a mad
I
dash
got
for
some
it.
range.
Show us that brain.
Fuck,
Okay.
I'm stupid.
Nice, really good.
In fact, you do know several back alley places, but based on what the wall has been telling you and how this guy is tailing you, none of them would be able to, like, for sure lose some sort of line of sight. He's been popping up here and there. They've been, in the randomest spots that you just can't even predict, right? So it's going to be very difficult to do some back alley stuff, but you guys can still try, or you can find another way to maybe lose him. Create a distraction. There's a lot of different ways.
Perhaps we could lure them
Yeah.
somewhere and put them in their place.
Confrontation.
I was gonna say, is that really wise? I don't know. Like, are they officials? Are they? It's hard to say, right?
What kind of official do you know that skulks about on rooftops? Like a coward.
Yes, like a coward. But perhaps maybe if we split up and all went to Kelly's hideout at different times, and if anybody is being followed, then they will have to. It would be easier to lose them as a singular person as opposed to a group.
That's really smart.
So, you want
It
us
is just
to
one person,
well,
so they'd have to prioritize.
Yes,
That's
I believe
true. It's only one person actually.
so. I think so. Yes.
Well, gang, it's time to split up.
Yeah.
Wow! Split the party.
All right. So, how would you like to split up? You are in right now. You are in the town center. There is a large fountain about 40 feet wide. There is a large statue of a drow man with a sword. Not quite sure who it is, but drow man with a sword, pointing it to the sky, and he's got a skull in his left hand. On either side, there is an 8-spoke wheel. So in the town center, there are 8 different main roads, and each of them goes towards a different part of town. The main road looking out to where you are right now is out to the farmlands, and then the like the surf lands, and then further on to the White's Rest. But where you go now is up to you individually.
Damn, this sucks.
We've rested, so I could turn 2 of us invisible.
That is true.
But which ones is the question?
Perhaps you and I will.
Might be a good idea, yeah. I could probably lose him if he tells me.
We can give it a shot, I think.
Zephyriel, would you be comfortable with me borrowing your bodyguard?
It's probably best I stick with him
You
or
could
someone
follow-
that can guide.
I mean, you could hold on to me, and if we're in, well, in so to speak, but if we're invisible, you would look like you're walking alone.
Oh, genius. Yes, let's do it.
Say that
Okay.
one more time for me. There's a word I like that you used.
Ham? Did you say
Hmm?
ham, lady?
Oh, I'm
Are we talking about
going-
is she nearby?
You know,
Argentum, as a smile washes your face as the funny scene unfolds, but over Zeph's shoulder, about 100 yards, sitting down on a barrel underneath an awning of wood by a building, is this robed acolyte twirling a dagger in his hand as the crowds pass in front of him, unknowing of his presence.
yeah, we should go.
Ooh.
Yes, we
We
should go.
We can all see him,
Argentum
right?
will quickly start penning a spell. And
You look down into your vellum and back up, and he's gone.
Damn it, he's gone.
Wall's gonna look around, like keep a head on the swivel.
Okay. I'm gonna have you make. Let's see.
Don't worry.
Make another perception check, but this is going to be to keep track of him.
Okay.
So whoever wants to do that, because they have the best chance of doing it, is going to keep track of him. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's one check.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So you saw him disappear, and that was the moment you needed, because as he disappeared, there was a small trail of this thin, wispy white particulate going in a certain direction. And you notice, this is how you can track him. This is how you know what direction he's appearing to. And sure enough, you follow the trajectory of that wispy white particulate, and he's on the roof across from you. And then he disappears as soon as you see him. But you're able to track him again. Wall, right now, is the only one that knows where he's going to be.
Okay.
And just okay.
What we will do, Argentum, as soon as you are almost done with your spell, I will give you a signal for when to cast it. I think they are teleporting somehow, and perhaps if we cast it right after they teleport, they will not see us go invisible.
That's very smart, Wall. I like how you think.
He disappears from the rooftop and appears, and you can follow him. He is walking behind a tradesman carrying some wood, just slowly.
All right.
Argentum will write most of the spell and then wait for Wall's signal to finish it.
He stops.
And when Argentum casts it, we are splitting up.
Agreed.
Yes.
He disappears.
Now!
All right.
Argentum will finish writing their spell, and the Wall and I will turn invisible.
Shit, kind of cool.
At this
Wall,
point
you
in-
follow the particulate and you know where he is. Continue.
So at the same time on the queue, I will snap my fingers and I'll change my outfit to commoner clothing, and just
Okay.
like disappear in the crowd.
Okay. Phoenix is gone. You saw him at once. I mean, Wall is gone. Argentum is gone. Zeph, Sunder. Everybody is spreading to the four winds. Wall, you get a bead on him, and he is jumping from rooftop to rooftop. He hasn't disappeared quite yet, but he is following at an angle above you guys.
I'll follow the sound of Argentum and Wall in front of me, and pretend that I'm just walking alone. And also, I would like to hold, with a poison dagger in one hand, hold an action to, if anyone tries to stab me, grapple them.
Okay. Sunder, what are you doing?
I think I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I want to just like stealth towards where
Sure.
Kelly is meant
So-
to be.
Okay, yeah, you guys were gonna meet Kelly at the White's Rest, just outside the
Mhm.
city. So Zeph and Sunder, since Argentum and Wall are invisible, and Phoenix, Zeph, Sunder, and Phoenix, make stealth checks, please.
Cool.
But Zeph and Sunder, you get a +1 because
Plus
you're
one.
wearing Ryla's wonderful garbs.
We love the wonderful garb. Stealth, correct?
Yes.
Cool.
that would be an 8.
I'm all right at these.
An 8. Okay.
All right, hold on.
17.
Cool.
Is there a way to easily give myself +1?
Just add 1.
Okay.
There's a way
So
to program
7?
it into your sheet later on, or we can do
7?
that after session.
Sure.
Okay, so here's what happens.
7. Wow.
Sunder and Zeph, you guys are the only ones that are corporeal, as it were. You guys look at each other as soon as everybody goes invisible, and let's see. Hold on. Just make sure let me get this guy right. Okay. You see everybody go invisible, and you guys look at each other, and Phoenix is gone. Just kind of melded into the crowd. So it's just you two looking at each other. And Zeph, you look over Sunder's shoulder. Sunder, you look over Zeph's shoulder, and there's 2 of them on either side of you guys. And that's what we're gonna call tonight, baby.
Let's go!
Oh my
gosh.
Hells yeah!
Hell
Yippee.
yeah.
Dude, please.
Yippee.
All right. I'm going to write down that I'm holding my action. If someone
Yeah,
stabs.
yes, you are totally. Yeah, please remember that. 'Cause I
Don't
won't.
forget. Don't forget.
Oh, well, I got it.
is
That was
All right,
fucking
guys. Holy shit. Okay.
Good
Damn.
game, y'all.
Yeah, that was
GG.
fun.
Pog.
I usually try and have people fight something every session, but like sometimes it's just more fun to run around.
Yeah.
But there will be, trust me, there will be sessions where we just fight the entire time. It's just gonna be just as good.
Yeah,
But-
fighting later on takes like a long time, so we'll definitely have a lot of those probably.
Oh yeah. Fighting is a good way to pad out a show. But guys, this was awesome. Holy crap, I had a blast. You guys got some
Yo.
cool shit. You guys learned a lot of information. You guys went in the complete opposite way I thought you were going to go, because I thought you were going to go to Kelly or go see Serial. But you know what? This was great. We had a shopping episode,
Nah.
and we still
screw
learned a
Tyrion.
lot. Fantastic. You can't screw Serial more than he's already screwed. So, do you guys have anything going on this week? You guys, or next week? You guys have anything fun that you're doing? Anything crazy is going on your stream? Anything crazy is going on in
True.
your personal life you just want to talk about? What's going on, guys?
Sure. Yeah. I will be playing games because
Cool.
I love games. I love Gamba. If you like TFT, I've
Cool.
become addicted to TFT. We're playing a new set on the PvE stuff. It's really good. I love China.
Nice.
That's the new set. Cool.
Fantastic.
Twitch.tv/LaserShen. Very cool.
Hell yeah, boy.
Anybody else?
Nice.
I'm starting my all too extra Dark Urge playthrough of Baldur's
Ooh.
Gate. I've done a lot of playthroughs of this fucking game, but it's my first fully streamed one, and we're doing Dark Urge, and I'm being entirely too extra about it. And there's gonna be fun redeems for it, where you can ask my dirge questions, and I have to answer them in character to chat.
Oh, fun.
We have
That's
like a
fun.
custom intro and everything. So yeah, I'm being way too extra about it because I just want it to be as immersive as possible. I'll have Twitch integration turned on and all that fun stuff.
That's awesome.
So yeah, there's that, and I guess my father-in-law is coming to town, so that's fun too, I guess.
yeah.
The in-law.
All right. Fantastic. Yeah, go
I'm-
check out
I'm-
their stream. Go ahead.
I'm playing Unicorn Overlord tomorrow on my stream.
Hype.
Because that game came out and I'm in it, so I'm gonna play it.
Woo!
Let's go!
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Let's go.
So friends
Let's
of
go.
my stream, go to twitch.tv/BenbyVoice, and we'll play some music on Overlord.
What
Hell
time?
yeah.
I don't know yet, but sometime during the
Where
day.
the wind takes me.
Whenever, I'll tweet it out when it happens. You get,
There you go.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I was gonna go last, so
Oh, okay. I'll go next. Next weekend, I'm gonna be in Colorado for Colorado Anime Fest. If you would like
Nice.
to come and hang out and say hi, I'll be signing pretty much all day, every day for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's gonna be great. Please come say hi. And I stream sometimes, so and you're
Hell
on the
yeah.
channel, so just press the little heart, I guess, if you want to, or gift a sub. We got 50 in first like 5 minutes. It was amazing.
very
Anyway,
nice.
that's me. Everyone say Colorado.
Colorado.
Oh,
That's
my
not where
God.
they pack the meat, right? That's Chicago.
Yeah, that's Chicago.
Nice.
We're Cincinnati.
in Colorado.
Cincinnati
They
is
sell a lot of
actually
ham there.
Porkopolis.
I was gonna say, I
Ham,
know
ham,
they sell
ham.
a lot of ham there.
Ham.
Ham.
Am?
This is Argentum's life now, huh?
I mean, you can't write this shit.
No, you
That
can't.
was
Just
amazing.
Yeah, we can't write it. We have
Just
to do it
appears.
live.
Angle.
All right, what about you? What about you, Grizz? What's going on?
Me now.
Yeah, you know.
Man, I'd like to, say I'm gonna be up and streaming again soon, but I've just been a lot of D&D just roll and stuff.
Nice.
I'm kind of trying to get a space in LA scheduled or booked so that we can do a IRL production soon.
Oh shit.
Angles.
Ooh.
Yeah, sort of handling all this kind of stuff for the team. So I'm busy and tired, but it's gonna be really fucking cool whenever we manage to do that.
That's amazing, man. Good luck.
That's so cool.
Godspeed.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm very excited about it.
Of course. I'm excited too. right, all right.
Yes.
Okay.
You guys are
so...
invited at any point.
Oh wow. Beautiful.
Stop
You're gonna have
by.
like it's gonna be like an esports arena where there's like maybe 50 seats, you know? It'd be great.
It's gonna be
Like a black
one
box?
Walmart pull-out chair.
I'll bring my
No,
lunch.
you're gonna pack the crypto.com arena.
Oh no.
Okay, so that was session 5. Thank you so much for coming for episode 5 of
Yeah.
Shadows over Welde. I appreciate all of my players. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy schedules and being here and hanging out with us.
course.
We are going to be doing this. I have. It's
What's
going to be
the-
yes or no next week. I'm not sure because I'm going to be at an anime fest and we're going to figure out whether or not I want to do this remotely or not, or how I'm going to do it remotely. But you guys will know by
Fair.
Monday.
Put your hands together. And, oh,
Okay, so maybe we'll discuss. You guys will know by Monday.
Yeah.
But I love you guys, and be excellent to everyone you meet because everyone is fighting a hard battle, and sometimes you can't see it. I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow. I may or may not stream. Probably leaning toward trending, yes. But I'll see you guys later. Bye.
goodbye, goodbye,
Bye.
goodbye,
Thank you
goodbye,
for
goodbye,
being
goodbye,
here.
goodbye.
Okay, we're clear.
Clear.
Oh wait, I
Oh my
rated
God.
immediately. Fuck! We didn't play the landing credits.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's fine.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Okay,
That was it,
sick.
guys. All right.
Yeah, that was it.
Good fucking time.
Alright.
I hate all of you so
That's it.
deeply. I need you to know.
Nah, it was funny.
No, it's fucking great. I say
That's
I
so
hate you
good.
lovingly.
Really good.
That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Our
Let me
gentlemen,
lower
I'm
my
trying to
fucking.
be posh as hell, and y'all are like, ham.
Damn.
So you were sampling the local cuisine, huh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Do you like
Yeah,
that
you like that?
trickle dick?
Trickle dick.
Trickle dick.
Trickle dick is
bro.
now an in-universe insult.
Listen here, trickle dick.
What are you?
I like it. Oh. That was fucking great, guys. Ah,
I agree.
man.
It's so fun.
I